What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? How y'all feeling today? Finally had the chance to finish it the Friday. KK, Loso Way, Walk on Wood. Yeah. What's going on, friends and family? We got the Q show tonight. So I'm gonna be on there. I got a flight basically practically overnight. That way I have no interruption. That's the thing that people don't really understand about, I guess, being a quote unquote entrepreneur is that business really don't stop. Well, I guess it can stop depending on who you are, because you can kind of create your own schedule, but I don't really do that. You know what I'm saying? So NBA schedule got released, so I made sure that that was a part of my calendar so I know when all of the games is happening. They call me Mr. Bibbs. What up? They call me Mr. Bibbs. I see you in the building. You said, AD, what's going on, sir? How was your weekend? You really want to know? You said what, Rita? Oh my God. Do you really want to know? You don't really want to know the answer to that question. Let me tell you this. Vegas is a very nice place to visit, but I would never live here. Vegas is a very nice place to visit, but I would never ever live here. Ever. What do I think about a sports YouTube channel? For who? For you or for me? For you or for me? Rita asked me, and I actually vlog, so I'm gonna try to edit that vlog. I think I'm gonna just spend this whole day working. This whole day is just making sure that we on top of things and then I get stuff out. Rita asked me yesterday, and she said, Anton, could you ever see yourself living in Vegas? And I said, wait a minute, hold on. Let me see something. Give me a second. She said, could you ever see yourself living in Vegas? And I said, absolutely not, under no circumstances. It's not nothing here. It's not nothing here. Like, honestly, I mean, honestly, thank you, Slick Boss. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if you take away the casinos, there's nothing really here like that. The heat is not as hot as it usually is, and not as hot, meaning 98, 99 degrees. Whereas usually it's like in August, July, August, you're talking about 115, 116. So let me just break it down like this. I'm gonna spend 10 minutes and I'm gonna tell y'all what my experience like this time in Vegas. And the reason that I'm having this conversation with you guys is because there's been a lot of rhetoric from people online saying, oh my God, Vegas is dying. There's nobody there and all of that. Let me just put that to rest, first of all, and say, no, it is not dying. Vegas will be here as long as this earth is here. Um, they building more stuff. The Oakland A's, well, not even the Oakland A's. It used to be the Oakland A's. Now it's going to be the Las Vegas A's are going to be here at the former Tropicana site. It was also a bunch of people here for a preseason game at Allegiant Stadium. The stadium is beautiful as ever. They still building more stuff. Is it as busy as it probably is in the fall and in the spring when it's not as hot? No, I don't think it's as busy. The Bellagio was pumping. The Strip is doing what the Strip do, even though I wasn't really on the Strip. And if you visited Vegas any number of times, which I've been here 1,000 times, you usually stay on the Strip, but you don't necessarily do Strip things. So, like, for example, some of the people say stuff like, well, it's so expensive in Vegas and a drink is this much and a drink is that much. You don't have to eat on the Strip. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to eat on the Strip. You can go to In-N-Out Burger, get you a burger and some animal fries, and you can eat for like $9. A burger and some animal fries. Every time I stop in Vegas, every time I stop in California, I always go to an In-N-Out because I like In-N-Out, the In-N-Out burger. And it's like $9. Literally, you can get the whole shebang for like $10. So when people say stuff, that just tells me that you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You got to get off the Strip. Vegas is more than just the Strip and Fremont Street and downtown. Is more than that. But anyway, so I landed here, and as soon as I landed here on Friday night, I went and did the live stream, went to sleep, woke back up. Saturday, I did hit the La Russell concert, and so La Russell had a little spot, and that was courtesy of you guys. So don't ever say that I don't listen to the chat, because the chat is my co-host for the show. And somebody in the chat said, Anton, if you in Vegas, stop by the La Russell situation. So you had Rick Ross was at Dre's, which you already know. If you ever been to Dre's, you basically just either you're gonna be in there like a pack of sardines trying to be like everybody else, or you're gonna get a section. And if you get a section, then you're gonna have to have a minimum spend. And if you're gonna have to have a minimum spend, and you're gonna be spending like the big section or whatever, because I got other people that's here with me, then you're gonna spend 7,000. So I said, you know what? I'm not about to do that. I'm about to go to this La Russell because it's more, underground, it's more real. And the one thing first that I'm gonna say about La Russell is La Russell is, in my opinion, La Russell is, in my opinion, and I know that this is probably gonna be controversial, La Russell should be what Kendrick Lamar is now. That just shows you the power of marketing. It shows you the power of the machine. It shows you all of that. La Russell should be what Kendrick Lamar is. And because he's doing it all off muscle, La Russell is so dope. He just come through, he just speak, he kick it with people, all of that. Listen, man, La Russell is one of the, and I'm not talking about skill wise. I want y'all to really understand what I'm saying. I'm not about talking about metaphors and similes and all of that. I'm talking about if you look at his show, and see, this is why y'all got to get outside. It's not about popular culture. It's not about popular takes. It's not about visibility. It's not about the charts. I'm talking about a live show, interacting with the people, in the crowd, rapping his ass off, all of that stuff. Like his real interaction. If we really wanted to, and again, this isn't a comparison. I'm not comparing I'm not comparing LaRussell to Kendrick Lamar. All right. This is not taking anything away from Kendrick Lamar. What I'm saying is, if y'all truly wanted to transform the culture, LaRussell would be the one that is super famous instead of the industry people. Listen to what I'm saying. If y'all truly, because a lot of people is basically just caught up in the matrix. What I'm saying is, he put all of his own money up. He do all of his own traveling. If you guys really wanted to transform the culture and let people know where you really support and where you put your dollars at, y'all all just fall for the machine. All y'all doing is falling for marketing. Facts, Azriel, just sheep, just sheep everywhere. No, don't you realize that all y'all doing is spilling the same talking points that the marketing and the industry is giving you? If you were actually out here, if you actually went to the shows, if you actually seen how he interact with the people and the love he got and how he worked with the different vendors as local to make sure that they eat, and how he really participates with the people that came out to see him and stuff like that, you would understand that those are the type of people that you should be supporting with your dollars. I'm not talking, and see, emotional people that don't understand what I'm saying, they'll talk about skill, right? They talk about the music and all of that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the independent artists that don't get the shine and the love that the major music labels, that all y'all doing is putting money in the major music labels, and all y'all doing is giving money to Live Nation. All y'all doing is giving money to the Live Nation and giving money to the major music labels. You think I'm talking about the songs? I'm not talking about the songs. LaRussell could be any other independent artist, is what I'm saying. You can take him and replace him with this independent artist. Listen, everybody at the top, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, it's 10 of them. It's 10 people that's better than them that you never heard of. There's 10 people better than the people at the top that you never heard of. So I'm not talking about, oh man, Kendrick. That's just what's marketed to you, and that's why that's your favorite artist, because that's what's the most in your face, because everybody else supports it, because it's being pushed by the machine. What I'm saying is, when you listen to those type of people, when you listen to the independent artists, when you go to the different shows and stuff, you'll realize that, yo, this is the people that you need to be supporting. But see, you can never get anybody to divest themselves from thinking like that, because it's very difficult to get people out of the marketing scheme. So they're going to go to the Rick Ross concert instead of going to the LaRussell concert, in which LaRussell putting his own money in he bring his own stuff and everything. And the industry is the ones that continue to market to y'all this bullshit that y'all's overspending money on. The highest LaRussell ticket was like $100. And I did that just off the strength. He treated the people that paid $100 the same that paid $25. So, anyways, long story short, went to that, dope, met him, cool. And shout out to the Bag Chasers for suggesting that I go to the LaRussell joint. It was a phenomenal show. Phenomenal show. In addition to that, yesterday was out in the streets. Shout out to my people over there at Dream. They hooked me up. They gave me the Ferrari SF90. Beautiful car. Beautiful car. So brand new off the showroom floor. Didn't have no mile on it, not 1 mile on it. Had it delivered, and as soon as I stepped down, they said, Anton, take the SF90. So the SF90 was dope. So I'm, hanging around. I go to different spots. I go and I talk to this one girl. She says, Anton, you got to come to Omni at Caesars on Sunday nights because it's going to be popping. I jump out at Caesars. I go and I say, all right, so let me go see what Omni is. I realize that Omni is a club. It's a nightclub. She said, Anton, it's the hottest thing that's happening on Sunday night. But I'm still operating off of Eastern time, right? So I'm really 3 hours ahead. So I get there or I get into Caesars, inside of Caesars, and it's like 9:30. It's not 9:30 Vegas time. It's 12:30 daytime. I forget that I'm operating off of my time. I see him setting up. I said, hey, what time y'all opening up? He said 10:30. I look at my phone. I said, oh, wait a minute. That's that's past my bedtime. I gotta get up and work in the morning. I got the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm out of here. I went to the valet, got my car, and I came back to the hotel and I scrolled on Instagram a little bit and I went to sleep. That's what my life is like. I tried, y'all. I tried. I went out, I seen some stuff, I hung out, I went to some places. But let me tell you something, bro. That 10:30 their time just to open. I asked the girl that sent us there. I said, "Hey, what time they close?" She said they close at 4. She said we party till 4. I said 4 is 4 a.m. She said, "Yeah." I said 4 a.m. is 7 a.m. my time. I said 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. my time. She said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, time to go." She couldn't have been no older than 25, 26 years old. That's why I be trying to figure out why y'all interested in talking to these young chicks, because that is no place for me. Listen, I don't mind hanging out, I don't mind partying, but I do so responsibly. Yeah, I realize that I need to get up in the morning so that I can do what I need to do. And I ain't got time for this. I ain't try. Come on, Anton, come on out. Nope. Nope. I had a cabana yesterday at the pool at the Vidar, because at the Vidar it's not as much visibility. You go to the Bellagio, you go to any of these other pools, it's gonna be people everywhere. At the Vidar, I got the cabana. I'm sitting back. I got my own personal pool area. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm doing my work. I'm getting stuff done. We ain't missing on the weekend. None of this nonsense. None of it. It's more fun to do it my way. It's more fun to do it my, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's more fun to do it my way. So I went ahead and made my way back to the hotel. But yeah, Vegas is cool. Vegas is cool. Spend way too much money out here. Spend way too much money out here. So Vegas is cool, but part of spending money out here is because you got friends and you want them to enjoy it. So you're gonna get everything. You're gonna do all of the stuff. You're gonna make sure everybody taken care of. But Vegas is, 2, 3 times a year tops. I'm out. Ideally, it should only be about 1 or 2 times a year. Go come from CES, and then you come one other time when somebody wants you to come to Vegas. But I could never live in Vegas. Vegas is nothing out here. Culture from the locals. Everybody live in Henderson. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people that came here is transplants, or most of the people that live here is transplants. A lot of the people came here to work in the casino industry, or they're going to be full-time poker players and they wind up going broke. And 10 years, you're going to see them walking down the street scratching themselves because they ain't got no money and they thought that they was going to make it. Ain't no real culture here like that. It's no real culture here in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of like people from out of town, tourists, people that decided to live here. Nobody was really born and raised here. Ain't no culture. Even the highest, the lowest, you can go to Milwaukee, you can go to New York, you can go to Chicago, you can go to any city, regardless of whether you agree with the politics or not. It's real culture in those other cities. Vegas is no culture here. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing happening. And so if you just visiting, it's going to be fun, but I don't think it's any place that you will want to live, because the locals ain't going to go to the strip any more than the people that live in Miami, that actually live in the real Miami. They don't go to South Beach. Most of the people that live in the real Miami, they don't go to the South Beach. And most of the people that live here in Vegas, they don't come to the strip. They don't go to downtown. They don't go to Fremont Street. They don't go to the Container Park. They don't go to those places. You know what I'm saying? They may come into town because visitors is in town, or they may come into town for a game. The best thing to do in Vegas, is not even a show. Because Vegas, they just need like a revamp of their shows and stuff. The best thing to do in Vegas is to go to a sports game. Go to their hockey game. The hockey game is the most fun thing to do in Vegas. I forgot what the name of their team is, but the hockey game, unless you go on to Allegiant Stadium, I'm pretty sure they got, the baseball team will be here soon. But yeah, man, it's pretty boring here unless you're a heavy gambler, and I wouldn't suggest that either. So yeah, man, that's pretty much my thoughts on Vegas and what's happening out here. So let's go ahead and get started with the show. We got over 2,000 people in here now, so we can go ahead and get started with the show. Let me read some of these Cash Apps, Super Chats. Again, the Q show tonight. I'm going to do a Patreon live stream either tonight or tomorrow night before the show. So it's either going to be before the Q show, because I didn't do a stock club this weekend. I was overwhelmed. I'm either going to do before the Q show tonight if I got time. If I don't do it on the Q show tonight, then we're going to do stock club tomorrow before after hours. So it'll be 9 p.m. either tonight or 9 p.m. tomorrow night. All right. Shout out to Rand Wilson, says, how was the LaRussell show? It was slapping. And I met a lot of bag chasers at the LaRussell show. Shout out to all of the bag chasers. Mike, that dude in the building. I appreciate you, Mike, that dude. Shout out to you. Shamila Martin with the 50 ball. I appreciate you, Shamila. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, Shamila, on Cash App holding me down. I did take that 50 and I bought some crypto with it. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Either I get coffee or not coffee, hot chocolate. When y'all send me, and I also want to acknowledge the PayPal people. When y'all send me stuff, I either get hot chocolate with it, like I get a drink with it, or I just throw it straight into crypto. Real talk. Or I throw it straight into crypto. All right. Let me acknowledge some of these super chats also. Big Homie says, just checking in. AD Jasmine Crockett lost her seat. If so, help me to understand. I ain't heard nothing about that. Let me look at that. Sarge says, morning, AD. Looking forward to a great week of quality content. The grind is real. Shout out to Sarge. I appreciate you. Aaron Boyd says, AD, you got to go to Jesse Ray's Barbecue, the best I had here in Vegas. Jesse Ray's Barbecue. I'll go there. I can check it out today. Jay Thomas says, hey, I've been in the Patreon for a few weeks now, but Discord link isn't working. Click the link. That's the most recent. The most recent that's inside of the your car. Contact your car. Email your car. Your car, put your email in there or something, and then he'll send you the Discord link. But I'm gonna update. I'm gonna put 2 posts in the Patreon today. I'm gonna put the link, the most recent link to the Discord, and then I'm gonna put a link to the upcoming live stream. All right. Got you, big dog. Tommy M says Vidara is one of the best peaceful slept on hotels in Vegas. I stay there every time. Vidara is slapping. I got the full kitchen right here. Literally. Got the full kitchen, got the suite. That's the whole kitchen area. It's a bathroom right there. It's a laundry room right there. It's my living room area right there. It's a bathroom, a bedroom area over there. And it's another bathroom, and it's a actual desk where you can work inside of there and all of that. I love the Vidara. The Vidara is one of the best, in my opinion, personally, of all the hotels. And obviously, you can get higher and lower depending on how much money you want to spend. But I personally think that the Vidara is the best hotel to stay in. If you got, if you're willing to spend a little bit of money, I think that the Vidara is where it's at, bro. Honestly. So I love it. It's like having an apartment. So it is. It's like having an apartment. So, and then I'm on a full table. This is a whole dining room table that I'm on, because I like to be out here instead of being on the desk over there. So the Vidara is nice, bro. I like the Vidara. That's where I say every time I come to Vegas, usually I'm staying at the Vidara. All right. Somebody said, is it true they charge you for opening up the fridge? What are you talking about? No, why would they charge me for opening up the fridge? I got a dishwasher. I got the beverage area. I got everything. You said what? Oh, you talking about the mini fridge where they have all of the liquor and the alcohol and stuff in? No, they don't charge me nothing. Let me look at a couple more super chats. Can you explain to us why crypto is the move? I invest because I don't understand crypto, I haven't put money in it. Well, I'll go over it on Patreon because I've done extensive research. I think that blockchain technology, the embracing of stable coins and cryptocurrency from the Trump administration, which give it more validation in the United States of America. I also think that because, for example, Bitcoin is, I believe they're only mining 21 million coins, so the value of it is going to continue to go up, even though it's at a little bit over $100,000. I'll go over it inside of the Patreon, and I think that I can explain it from a C student's perspective better than people that were trying to explain it to me and was telling me to invest in it, but they couldn't tell me why. They were smart to invest in it, but they didn't know what they was doing. They just did it because everybody else was doing, which was smart. But I'll never invest in anything that I don't actually understand. And so that's a philosophy that I got from Warren Buffett. Mark the Guardian says best barbecue is road seal or road kill grill. Drive there. You got to tell me how far that is. New profile picture, guys. Shout out to Carrington Love Jr. with the new profile picture. Yeah. 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 Do I like the Aria? I do, but Aria just got a casino attached to it. The Aria is cool too. Listen, if you're trying to get in the mix, then you can go to any of those. The best hotel to stay at from a location perspective is the Bellagio because it's right there in the middle of the strip. All right. Most people that are partiers, they might stay at the Cosmopolitan. 392Q says, planning on proposing my girl next month. How did you propose to your wife? I plan on doing it in Hawaii. Oh, man. Let me tell you something, bro. How you start off is how you finish. How you start off, you got to give yourself some time to ramp up, big dog. Listen, I'm not telling y'all can't go all out and go to Hawaii and spend a bunch of money and stuff like that. I was sitting in my 86 Buick Regal because I still have my old school. Parked in front of her house. You know what I'm saying? Hey, why don't we just get married? You know what I'm saying? That's how the conversation went for me. You know, so if y'all want to do it big, take it to the big restaurant and all of that. Our rings was like $300 combined total, and I was getting money. I was making a lot of money. I think I had just came from the drive-in or something like that. I'm chilling. I had a full head of hair. You know what I'm saying? Why don't we just get married? That's it. That was it. I ain't spend no money. I ain't go to no restaurant. I ain't go to none of that, bro. None of that. So listen, God bless y'all. I think that, if that's what y'all want to do, if y'all want to spend a bag in Hawaii and y'all want to do all of that, then I think that that's cool. But for me, I'm just on some, what we doing type shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing all of that. But it's different now. I feel y'all think it's a different game. Man, if she love you, she rocking with you no matter what, bro. Oh, I definitely can grow some hair. I definitely can grow some hair. Let's be clear. I can grow hair. I choose not to grow hair because I think I look better without it. All right. Well, look, I'll tell you what. It's not as full as it needs to be. I will tell you that. I got some stubble right here. It's not full like it needs to be. But what I'll do, if I decide to ever grow hair, I'm gonna get some implants. I'm gonna have them take it out of my legs, put me some extra hair all in here, make sure it's nice and full. Because if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way. I can't do it halfway. You know what I'm saying? I got the stubble right here. Y'all ready to get started with the show? What do I think about a sports channel? If you do a sports channel, you're going to have to give them a reason to tune into you differently than everybody else because you got to remember your competition. Any channel was okay if you can separate yourself from the pack. All right. No, I ain't gonna get no toupee. I'll get an implant, but I wouldn't get no toupee. It's just too much work. I ain't doing all of that. I'm so gorgeous that I don't need to do all of that. So I'm chilling. I'm so gorgeous that I might switch up though. You never know. Never say never. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with the show. I'm gonna continue to read super chat shortly. 11 people. We got to start off with the crime. It's a lot of stuff that we need to address. Crime in DC, crime in Brooklyn, women killing their children, beating their children to death, all kind of stuff. And then we're gonna get into the rent prices, and then we're gonna wing it. We're gonna see what's happening. I heard that it was an illegal migrant that was driving a semi that killed 3 people that's being held accountable for that. So we're gonna get there. All right. We got a lot to cover today. No wigs, Messi. No wigs. All right. But I heard that it was 11 people that got shot in Brooklyn. 8 injured, 3 passed. Let's go over to Brooklyn and see what's happening.
News coming out of Brooklyn where 3 people are dead, 8 others in the hospital this morning, and police looking for suspects after a shooting at a nightclub there. This is on Franklin Avenue in Crown Heights, not far from Prospect Park. And that's where we find Weekend Today New York's Checky Beckford there this morning with the details for us. Checky, good morning.
Good morning, Pat. A violent start to this Sunday morning indeed. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch calling this a terrible shooting. I'm going to step out of the way here so you can see the still very active scene behind me here on Franklin Avenue. We've changed our position since the last time we spoke to you about a half an hour ago. Now, she says that this shooting took place around 3:27 this morning inside 903 Franklin Avenue. It's a nightclub called A Taste of the City. Police found 11 victims inside. 3 of those victims were dead on arrival. 3 of them men, ages 27, 35, and the third person's age, she says, was unknown. In all, there were 8 men and 3 women who were shot. Remaining victims, we're told, were taken to various area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries, and they're withholding the names of the victims at this point pending family notification. Now, she says that the shooting began due to a dispute inside the crowded nightclub. If you can imagine the scene here, it's Saturday night going into Sunday morning. The club packed with people when those bullets began flying. Police, of course, canvassing the area, looking for surveillance video and any possible witnesses at that early morning hour. 3 shell casings were recovered. No one at this point, though, is in custody, though they did find a gun near Bedford Avenue and Eastern Parkway that they're investigating to see if it is connected to the shooting.
When do they ever actually get anybody into custody, y'all? Somebody give me some insight. I see shootings all over the United States of America. I cover crime that happens all over the United States of America. When do we ever see somebody held accountable for mass shootings in the black? Because see, let me tell you the difference between the black community and because see, the thing that black people will say a lot of times is, well, what about the mass shooting when white people shoot up churches or all of that type of stuff? Okay, cool. Fair enough. Let's explore it. The one thing that we know about those type of situations, because they don't want to, and this is the thing that we gonna trend towards when we talk about, because this show today is gonna be talking about accountability and crime within our communities. All right, white communities, black communities, migrants, all of that. Okay, when do they not catch the mass shooters that shoot up the white communities? Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because I've seen a lot of people giving their 2 cents. I seen white apologists. Y'all know how I feel about white apologists. I seen Asian people, sassy Asian people giving their opinion about what goes on. These, make no mistake about it, okay? We may not have classified it that way because it's so common inside of our communities, which is one of the reasons why it was important for Trump to lay down the law and to start to hold the communities accountable for what happens within the community. And we're going to extend this conversation on the Q show. So I wasn't there last week. but I definitely plan on getting active this week. Oh, we gonna talk about relationships. We gonna talk about the community, and I'm itching. Whenever I miss a show because of some other obligation or whatever, I definitely need to come back and revisit it and have a conversation. When you have 11 people getting shot and 3 die, when it was a Vegas shooter and he was shooting out of a hotel room or something like that, and he killed like 2 people or some nonsense, they called that a massacre, a mass shooting. When you see somebody that goes in and they kill somebody and it's on lockdown and it's usually a white person, that is considered a mass shooting, right? We've normalized it so much in our communities that when it happens in Brooklyn, when it happens in Detroit, when it happens in Chicago, when it happens in New York, when it happens in LA, when it's in Compton, whenever it is in other places, it's not considered a mass shooting. And this ain't a black thing. This is a cultural thing. This is not a black thing that I'm talking about. Let's be clear. This is a cultural thing. All right. So what I'm saying is, why aren't these people? Because they will scour, they will bring in ballistics experts, bomb experts. We're going to talk about it for the next 10 days. This don't get the type of coverage. I'm the only person independently. Let's be clear. And if I'm wrong, my chat, I'm open to being wrong and y'all can hold me accountable. As an independent content creator that is not a part of any media group, that's not getting paid by any large entity, any local entity, I am the only person, if it is not a popular story, if it's just local, I'm the only person that scours local news in the local communities to see what is going on. Now, let them do some crap like this in a Vegas and Manhattan or something like that. Oh my God, it's gonna be all over the news. What? They hit the big black woman statue in front of Times Square? No way. No way. No way. I know he has, Dar. I know he has. I pay attention to everybody still on my talking points. Don't worry about it. I'm not tripping about it. My talking points are everywhere. I hear people saying stuff like, well, we need to focus on the majority and not the minority in order to solve for the problems that's within the community, especially when it comes to single. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. I've heard people catch themselves. They almost called themselves bag chasers. I said, you ain't no bag chaser. I went through the list. I said, I don't see you a part of the 18,000. They don't classify this stuff as a mass shooting. They don't. Oh, they still in everything. It's okay. We got upgrades coming over the next month. In September, when all of the kids go to school, we got a whole revamp of the Millionaire Morning Show. We moving differently. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming.
At this point, take a listen to the police commissioner and a witness that we heard from earlier.
11 people shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that occurred in the city of New York. It's no other way to.
The other victims, we saw them. They were getting their, shirts cut. One of them got put in the gurney over here, and the other one got put in the gurney that way. It's messy. It's messy.
I'll take my time.
And you can see that officer standing in front of the business, a taste of the city nightclub. It's a restaurant and nightclub lounge where that shooting happened again around 3:30 this morning. 11 people in all, again, shot. 3 of them died, were pronounced dead at the scene, all 3 men. Now the police commissioner pointing out that this was an anomaly, that shootings this year so far within the first 7 months of this.
And we don't want to hear that junk no more, bro. We's tired, boss. We don't want to hear that it's an anomaly. We don't want to hear that, this usually never happens. Bruh, my spidey senses start picking up the minute that I could tell when something is about to happen. I can sense it. Honestly, I can sense it. I know. You know what? I started looking at the doors. It'd be one way in, one way out. Be a little rinky dink. And I'd be thinking to myself, I just keep on driving by. Ain't nowhere to park. I got to park down the street, down some dark alley. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and remove myself from this environment. This seems less than ideal for me personally. I'm going to remove myself from this environment. This seems less than ideal for me personally. It's just not working. This is Eric Adams speaking on the situation. I'm going to take you over to there because I haven't seen his actual press conference. This is what he had to say.
12 people shot in the city, a mass shooting of second in a few weeks. You know, it's just impacts and reinforces why we do this work of going after guns off our streets. And I just really want to thank the police commissioner and the men and women of the New York City Police Department, Pastor Morose, Commissioner Howard of DYCD, and A2 Mitchell for Man Up, who just has been a real partner around the issues around gun violence. It's almost a 2019, we had 12 people shot in Brownsville. I remember walking with A.T. Mitchell throughout Brownsville and Pastor Morose.
Man, I don't want to hear this junk, bro. This is boring. He's rocking me to sleep. They had some survivors. I was able to find a video where they had some survivors actually be able to talk about what happened at this shooting. And so I'm going to share that with you guys instead. Let's go over to that.
Well, John, I did speak with one 27-year-old victim. She is still in the hospital tonight after she was shot in the head, in the arm. Remarkably, she says she's doing okay, escaping with her life, but just barely.
I came outside and saw the intensity of the running. I was like, nah, something else is going on. Let me go check to see if my boy okay.
Look, bro, listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all real quick. All right. If you see this type of dude, even in the vicinity, in the neighborhood, it's time to go, bro. I ain't got the ding. I'm in the hotel room. I'm doing this live from Las Vegas. I don't have the ding. If you look, y'all, I need y'all to, this dude got the 50 Cent wife beater on. You know what I'm saying? The G Unit white beater. He got the do-rag. I got to go see what my boy's saying. He got a 5 on his, he just got a straight number. No teardrops, just a 5. Listen, bro. Listen. Let Uncle Anton be an example for you. I know y'all like to say I'm lame. I agree with you. You don't have to keep saying it 100 times. I know you like to say I only been with one woman. I agree with you. You don't have to say it more than one time. They were surprised when I said it on Fresh and Fit. They said, so how many, they said, the girl said, how many women have you been with? I said, 1. I'm just like y'all. What that mean? No matter what your body count is, you say 1. I agree. I'm lame. I only been with one woman. I am a nerd. I never got no motion in high school. And the money is what makes me give me my confidence. I agree with you 100%. Everything that you have to say, you don't have to say anything that I am not telling you right now. I agree with it all, no matter what it is. I wore a pocket protector. I Dungeons and Dragons, all of that, the whole 9 yards. I'm safe. I am thriving. My life is incredible. I have no debt. Y'all got to start learning how to profile effectively and also understand that it's the real lames that say stuff like that, because we are the only community where that's not celebrated. President of the chess club, 100%. I wanted to. I just wasn't good enough. I was just a C student perspective. I wanted to join a chess club in high school. I actually got recruited to join a chess club in high school. I actually got recruited to join a chess club in high school. I can call my homeboy from high school. I don't know if he got this new number that I got. I'm going to call my homeboy in high school. Honest to God. Listen, y'all got to start telling your sons. See, that's the thing. The thing that they'll try to shame us for is the thing that they want their son to be. I don't know if he got this number.
Nope.
Hey, this is Anton Daniels.
What's up, man?
What's going on, bro? I don't know if you got this number.
No, I never had this number, man.
Yeah, this is my new number. Make sure you lock it in, bro.
Okay, man. Will do, man. Good over there?
How you been, man? How's everything going?
Man, the grind, man. The grind, bro.
Okay.
You know, just tapping back in with shoot, the wife, the baby, man. This industry is just the job market is terrible, man, right now.
Man, but I'm proud of you, bro, because I remember where we came from. I remember where you came from. I remember where I came from. And we made it out the hood, bro.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, dude.
I got a question.
So,
it's a weird question, but I got a question.
What's up?
Why didn't we join the chess club in high school?
You know, I'm not sure, man. I don't know. I don't know because we played a lot of chess.
We did. We played a lot of chess in school, bro.
Played a lot of chess, man. I played chess. I was in the chess club in middle school, actually.
We should have joined the chess club in high school, bro.
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
Well, listen, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you right back. I'm gonna call you right back. But tell the wife and congratulations on everything, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, bye. Listen, I'm gonna try to tell you, I am a nerd. A nerd. I should have joined the chess club. That's what we used to do. We used to go to lunch and you would freestyle in second hour. We play chess in third hour. Freestyle in second hour, play chess in third hour. That's what our life was. I have no shame in my game. Guess what? I'm safe. I don't have no tattoos on my face. I ain't got to worry about, ever putting myself in a position to where I got to compromise my integrity for my freedom. I have a strong household. My daughter is in a good space. I don't really know. When y'all do this tough shit, I think that you make yourself look bad. You don't make me look bad. I'm profiling immediately. When I see people, because let's be clear, this is what we got to start doing. Shout out to all of the black people and shout out to the white people. Shout out to the people, the Mexicans, the white people, everybody that watch this channel. I appreciate you. But I'm going to talk to the black people for 1 second, just for 2 minutes. This is what, forget this story. We done with this story. Moving on to the next story. We have to start profiling and we have to separate ourselves from the dusties. That's what it is. We have to start profiling, and I just want you to know, I know they want us to be humble. They don't want us to say we better. You're better than them. You're better than the bottom of the barrel black people that they keep trying to tell you that you need to support just because they black. You don't have to do that. Don't ever let nobody lie to you and tell you that you need to be in the spot, you need to be invited to the barbecue, that you need to meet, mix in and mingle and be a part of this. No, the only thing that you got to do is pay your taxes, and we struggling on that type of front. That's the real struggle. That's where the real war is with that. The real war is that we fighting the wrong war. Pay your taxes, and make sure that you make it to heaven. That's your goal. Pay your taxes, make sure you make it to heaven. Everything else is extra. You are not obligated in any way, shape, or form. You are not obligated in any way, shape, or form to try to make everybody else feel good or try to validate your blackness. Black, the whole word black is a construct that was given to people. Think about it. The whole mindset. I seen somebody sent me a video. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I seen a little bit of the talking points. They was trying to figure out how black I was from Detroit. Nigga, I am Detroit. Not just because I was born and raised here, but because I own more property than all of your favorite rappers, all of your entertainers, all of the people that say that they represent a particular community or culture. I own it. Detroit, Metro Detroit, all of it. I am it because I own the community. Because I'm building in the community. I am the city. The city is not defined by how you talk and if you got polo boots and what you listen to. The city is who owns it. I'm the city. I am the city. I am it because I own it. And I'm going to continue this Oakland County property tax auction, Wayne County property tax auction. It's all mine. That's what I've been prepping for and planning for the last 2 months. You are the culture because you own it. We're doing things differently. We're doing things differently going forward from here on out. From here on out, we're going to do things differently. We're going to start determining what happens in the culture. And when I say the culture, I ain't talking about their culture. I'm talking about we're redefining what the culture is. We got enough people. We got an army to where we can do it now, right? We're going to start putting money behind the candidates that we want. We're going to start using our platforms to advocate for the causes that we deem to be ideal. We're going to start transforming the neighborhoods and the cities that we live in. We're going to start controlling what happens at our city council meetings. We're going to start bringing up millages and issues that we don't want to take place and the things that we do and that we don't. We're going to determine what happens. We're going to start working with the city planners. We're going to start grooming the people that are in our high school. The reason that I think that setting up this scholarship fund is ideal is because I'm going to handpick the candidates of the people that I think that is going to transform different parts of the culture. And I'm going to make sure that I put my money behind them so that when they grow up, that they'll execute on the agenda because they're going to owe me one. I don't care about how many holes you hit. I don't care about how much money you got. I don't care about how many holes you get. I don't care about none of that stuff. We are going to start handpicking the winners. The winners are not going to be your room 9 friend that was on a football team. The winners are going to be the people that's on the chess team. We're going to start picking the people that were most likely to succeed. We're going to make sure that we create the jobs and the environments, and we're going to make them the CEOs of our companies. We're going to build this thing. And when we leave it for them, we're going to make a sacrifice. We're going to make a sacrifice when we leave it for them to take over, because it ain't even about we over. I'm 43 years old. If I'm lucky, I can get another 43 or 50 on this earth. It's not about us no more. We're over. The only thing that we can truly do is leave this earth in a better space had we not found it. And so no longer do we care about chains. We don't care about none of that stuff. Yes, we're going to live our life. We're going to have a good time, but we are going to start changing the culture because now we got the power, we got the platform, and we got the money to be able to do it. I don't care nothing about this trash culture no more. We divest in ourselves. We're divesting ourselves. This is the real movement. No more building schools and all of that. What are we building a goddamn school for? We got online learning. We not putting our money in the holes no more and flying them out. We're going to take that money and we're going to give a scholarship, $5,000 at a time. We not checking for nobody and nothing no more. We not checking for nothing and nobody no more. We going to start small. We going to start right there at the people that's at the bottom. And we going to handpick them. And because we going to have control and we going to be impressionable on them, we going to give them the blueprint. We going to teach them it took us 40 years to learn. They going to do it in 20. And then they going to be the ones that then take over and they going to do it with integrity. That's what we going to do. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to start with the guys. That's it. That's it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. No more. We tired of this. No more. It's over. It's over. Care about your churches. We don't care about your black power. We don't care what colors you wear, red, white, and green, all of that. We don't care about. I don't care. The only thing I care about is if the community is going to be affected in a positive way. And I'm starting very young. I'm not starting with you old heads no more. That's it. We're going to get to them before they catch a felony. We're going to get to them before they get the the dreads on them, and before they try to become rappers. We're going to show them our bank account and say, you want to be a rapper or you want to be an owner? Which one you want to be? We don't have to aspire to be a basketball player knowing that it's only 450 basketball players in the entire NBA, and most of them is going to be broke. We ain't got to aspire to that no more. Now we got real examples and real people that can actually show their bank account and say, yo, you want in or no? I ain't checking for none of these old heads no more. Pretty Boy 79 says, oh yeah, I read that one. Shout out to you, bro. Best Bob read that one. New profile picture. AD, did you get an opportunity to go over Amanda Seales versus 20 conservative? It's diabolical. She'll blame this on white and slavery. I didn't. Let me tell you why. Because I don't really care about Jubilee. Listen, y'all. Listen. The profiles that I don't care for, or I don't watch, or that promote a certain thing, I don't watch them. I don't care how entertaining it is. I don't care if it was reviewable content. I'm just different, man. I'm just different. I don't watch Jubilee. I don't watch none of that. I don't care. I don't care how great it might have been. I don't care. Man, listen, bro, when I see stuff and if I don't rock with it, I just don't watch it. I don't subscribe to certain things. I don't watch it. I'm not interested. I don't. So you ain't got to worry about me reviewing it. You know, I've seen a lot of content creators, for example, they were reviewing what Nick Fuentes said. I remember a long time ago, it was a guy, he came on my platform. He said, hey, you got to get Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes on your platform. But what? Other people may rock with him that I'm cool with, and that's cool for them, not for me. I don't like him. He may be right on some stuff and he may be wrong on some stuff, but he rubs my spirit the wrong way. And I don't like him. And YouTube don't like him. And when YouTube don't like him, I don't like him. I'm not interested. I am not interested. And so, everybody jumped on the wave and they reviewed a video that went viral about him. I didn't feel like I needed to. And I didn't feel like I needed to announce that I wasn't going to review it because I'm not interested. And so if I'm not interested, I'm not interested. And if I don't like you, then I'm not going to take in your content. I don't care how many views I can get from reviewing it or whatever, and it's a difference between not liking what you do and not liking you. I don't like him. I don't. He rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like him. I genuinely don't like him. So I don't review his stuff. I'm not giving nobody visibility. That's the thing that I don't understand about people that don't like me. Although I appreciate it. It's like, y'all know y'all promoting me, right? Y'all giving me more visibility. You putting my name more into the algorithm. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. And it ain't, and let me say that it's not because, let me tell you why I don't care for Nick Fuentes. It's not because he has a difference of opinion, right? Or a different perspective. That's not what it is. There's plenty of people that I actually review that have a difference of opinion or perspective. I think that he's just, you know how you can look at somebody and you can just tell that it's something inherently evil within them behind it. It's not about having a difference of opinion or standing on something different. There's plenty of people that I review that have a different opinion or a different perspective, and I just be laughing at them. Oh man, you so Umar Johnson is one of them. But it's like it's a spirit, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint it, but it's a spirit within me that's just saying, you know. And so I'm like, ugh, I don't want that around me. I'm not interested in that type of stuff. You know, I can be friends with somebody that has I have plenty of people in my family that have a different opinion or perspective with me on life. And we have a good time and we have a ball. But it's some people that you just be like, you know, you a try hard. You would try hard, you know? You're not saying this because you really believe it. You saying this because it's the thing that, you know, gives you more clout. I don't believe him, honestly. I don't believe him. I don't care. It's some people that say stuff that I'm like, okay, they just being authentic. That's just what they really believe. And it's some people that's saying it because they just trying to get people riled up. And it's just a difference. It's a difference in spirit. It's a difference in character. When I see him speak, I don't see him speak from a power and authority. I see him speak from a position of weakness that probably never had any visibility before, but he just so happened to be the mouthpiece because he don't have nothing else to lose. He was never going to be the person that was ever taken off and be accepted and awesome and transformational. This was his only play and his only avenue. And so he's going full force into it. And so I don't believe half the stuff that I don't believe that he believed it. I believe he convinces himself of it. And that's why he says the stuff that he's saying. I don't believe him at all. Not at all. Never was tough. Never none of this. Never stood on none of that. I don't believe none of that. I believe that this is the only card that he has to play, and that's why he's playing it. Let me stop. I don't want to deep dive too much into it. Let me be quiet. Y'all got to start paying attention, man. I don't want to meet everybody. I'm not interested in meeting. There be people, famous people. People be like, yo, I can introduce you to this person. Like, nah, I got a flight to catch. I got a flight to catch, you know? Messy Mathematician says 80. Somebody said the hair on your head takes an automatic detour to your beard. Well, listen, either you're going to have it up here, or you're going to have it down here, but you can't be missing both. You know what I'm saying? That's why my beard is so illustrious. Don't know who said it, but I think her name rhymes with stressy, messy. Carrington Love Jr. says, we on a save wave, Anton. That's how I know you are investing in your money for millions. I'm buying a Sand Hills region of North Carolina, my state, my home, and surrounding companies. I love that, Carrington. Let's get it. Terrible People Podcast says, sign me up for being a lame. Nothing wrong with Tekken 3 and Final Fantasy. Let's get away from this dusty, downtrodden loser culture. Let's be great. Facts. Real talk. I just broke it down to my girl how Black people of today have to sacrifice themselves for Black people of tomorrow. I don't even think it's for Black people. I'm doing it just for American culture. You know, I just want to do my part. Fashion, unnecessary luxury, get the devil out of my house. Big Homie says, I'm confused why it is a bad thing that Trump wants to clean up the streets. And I'm from the South Ward of Newark, New Jersey, Avon Ave. AD, ask the chat, hell yeah, I want the streets cleaned up. Oh, we're going to get to that. We got a couple stories to get to in front of that, but we're going to get to that. Yo, Anton, thanks for the messages you give, bro. I went through some really hurtful stuff, and it's content like this that makes me work harder. Thank you. We all go through it. Let's continue to push. Have you heard of chess boxing? If not, check it out. Chess boxing? All right, I'll have to look it up later. All right, y'all. Let's continue on with the show. Have y'all heard about this? It was an 11-year-old beaten in front of other children. I wouldn't watch it. I said that I wanted to actually review it with you guys, and then we was gonna get into it. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Let's get into it.
Carolina Forest home while several children and adults. First at 11, arrest warrants News 13 obtained reveal one woman is accused of beating an 11-year-old girl inside their Carolina Forest home while several children and adults watched. Thank you for joining us at 11. I'm Edward Moody.
Shout out to Kamisha. Kamisha in the building. Why do we like names with a sh at the end of it? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Trish Williford, Kamisha McGaskey is accused of killing a Kyrie Bell and hurting other minors. She faces murder and other charges, including human trafficking.
News 13's Adriana Lawrence spent all evening digging into the warrants and tells us what new details she's learned.
These arrest warrants we obtained reveal a horrific reality. Authorities claim 5 children lived for at least 6 months, and the charges 5 adults now face.
I feel like they seen the color of our skin and immediately we did something to the little girl. And it was disgusting.
You just heard from Kamisha McGaskey, who police charged with murder in a Kyrie Bell's death, along with multiple felonies, including trafficking minors. The coroner said Bell died on June 13th from blunt force trauma and labeled her case a homicide. Police initially charged McGaskey, Bell's guardian and a distant cousin, with obstruction of justice. When she spoke to us after Kyrie's death in June, she denied any claims of hurting her kids and accused police of racial profiling.
I sent her upstairs to take a bath with her sister. Like 20 minutes later, her sister called and said she passed out. I went up there to provide aid for her. And as soon as I found out that she was unconscious, I dialed 911 and I called the police.
Warrants state between January 1st and June 11th, she also beat a 15-year-old boy on multiple occasions, and that she used her hands, feet, various objects, and personal weapons. Warrants state her 12-year-old child, along with a 3-year-old and 14-year-old, were inside of the home during the beatings. The warrants reveal 4 other adults face unlawful conduct towards a child charges and claim they were present for the beatings but did not stop them at any point. It adds they're an action put at Kyrie at an ongoing and unreasonable harm and contributed to the circumstances surrounding her death. Horry County Police Chief Chris Lenhart spoke on the case back in June.
This innocent child suffered traumatic injuries, very, very difficult for our team and the folks that were involved. And we just want to, again, let the community know we're doing our best to investigate the case, make these charges swiftly to provide justice to her.
Now, we've reached out to Bell's family for comment, but have not yet heard back. Chief Lenhart encourages anyone who's a witness to child abuse to report it.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me try to put this in perspective. And Chad, I need y'all assistance on this, all right? So Kamisha McGaskey beat the kid, and then the kid eventually died, but she didn't beat the kid. She beat the kid in front of the other children, and she beat the kid in front of the other adults, and nobody did anything as a result of it. Am I off on that, or are we accurate? So the whole family watched her basically beat the kid. The kid wound up dying, and so not only did the children witness it, but all of these adults also witnessed it, and they didn't do anything either. Is that correct? I want to make sure that we got this all in perspective. I'm right, Sabrina? Makes your stomach turn. Correct, A-line. Okay, so now that we got everything in perspective, and now that we all agree that that's what happened, because I want to make sure that I got all in perspective, let's have a conversation. Y'all ready to get the uncomfortable truth or no? They not ready for this conversation. They not ready for this conversation, Rita. I'm supposed to be being politically correct. I'm sorry. I know what y'all want me to say. I know I'm supposed to say, oh my God, this is crazy. Lock him up and all of this stuff. No, I know. I'm sorry. I want to because I don't want no problems. I don't want y'all getting mad at me. I don't want y'all to say that Anton, you wrong, you off, or whatever. And I know that there's going to be some people that fundamentally disagree with me. How about we just move on to the next story? How about we move on to the next story? Y'all want to go to the, let's go to the next thing. I'm ready to go to the next story. I'm ready to go to it. Y'all ready to go to the next story? You out? What you about to do? All right. All right, I'll see you later. Have fun. Huh? I'm gonna try to come outside, but I think I'm gonna be locked in working. So, all right, go ahead, have fun. See you. All right, y'all ready to move on to the next thing? Oh man. All right. So this is what's really happening. I don't know why y'all all outraged. Y'all don't really want to have no real conversation. I don't know why y'all outraged. Why y'all so outraged? Because the kid died? Is that what y'all outraged because the kid died? That's the only reason y'all outraged. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, most of us, overwhelmingly, the majority of us grew up in environments the exact same. The majority of us grew up in environments that was the exact same. This is not something that is anomaly. Y'all not outraged. You seen it happen. You watched it happen. You've seen it in your households. You've seen it in your communities. The things that we call child abuse today was just getting your ass whooped back then. That's the truth. So please miss me with this fake outrage that y'all got going on right now. Because the only reason that y'all having this conversation talking about everybody need to be locked up is because the person died. And it's the popular thing to say. But if that was the case, then you would be calling the police on your mama today. If that was the case, your mother, your auntie, your grandmother, your father, your uncle, and your brothers, and you, and some of you would be locked up right now. Don't give me that. Get the hell out of here. Go hold your mama accountable. Now, I'm not saying that it's right. Let's be clear. I'm not saying that it's right. I didn't hear nothing about no weapons. What weapons? What weapons did she use? I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that don't hit me with the fake outrage because who didn't see this type of stuff growing up? Who didn't see this type of stuff growing up? No, Anton, it's different because it's excessive. Where? In our communities? In your communities? Nigga, you don't know what excessive is. Oh, oh. Oh. Eric D says, Anton, you wrong on this because she was beat to death. Most of us was. We just got revived. That's all it is. Listen. Nobody is saying that it's right. Let's be clear. I'm saying that the outrage is fake because the only reason y'all are outraged is because they died. But most of us was 1 inch away from death. And ain't nobody called the police, ain't nobody called a hospital, ain't nobody called nothing. Y'all outrage is fake. Did you confront your mother? I absolutely believe that there's limits to discipline. I absolutely think that you shouldn't be picking up weapons. That's not what we talking about. I'm talking about the fact that why y'all acting like this is new? No, you off. I'm on, Baker's Block. I'm on. I'm not off. I'm definitely on. I'm 100% on. I'm 100% on. I know what the extension cord looks like. Absolute. I know what snatching what getting the extension cord snatched off the goddamn iron and catching L's, nigga. Don't tell me I'm off. I lived it. Don't tell me I'm off. Nigga, you off. I call my mama right now. She'll tell you, yep, I did it and what? And stand on that shit. I call my mama right now and she'll tell you I stand on that. Now what? Tell me I'm off, nigga. I know what this life look like. Nigga, you off. Again, nobody is saying that it's right. But what I'm saying is, man, get out. See, this is why I want to have this conversation, because y'all want to act like y'all don't know what's happening out here in these streets. Yo, go talk to your big mama, go talk to your mama, go talk to your auntie, nigga, because I know what's happening. I know what's happening. That's the only reason that y'all outraged, is because they died. But I'm a proactive type of person. If you're going to get outraged prior to, and also hold your own parents accountable and get outraged at the people in your family. Get outraged at the people in your family. Get outraged at the people that's in your family. Again, I'm not validating it, but I'm saying I don't believe you motherfuckers. I don't believe you. And that's why I'm me. And that's why I'm feeling comfortable in what it is that I am, because I know what's really happening out here in these streets. Feel how you want to feel. And you are free to disagree. I don't censor people over here. I don't tell people that they can and can't. I never expected for you to agree with me. That's why I said that y'all wasn't ready to have a conversation. I never expected for you to agree with me. Never. You still trying to justify to me whether it was right or wrong. That ain't even a conversation. Because you and your feelings, you and your emotions. You and your feelings, you and your emotions. Nobody is having a conversation about it being right. That's not what we're talking about. I'm saying that there is fake outrage. I don't believe you. I don't believe that you're outraged by it. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Aaliyah says, YNs today don't get beat. So what does that say? That they need more whoopings? Y'all talking to the wrong one. Is it limits to discipline? Absolutely. But do I believe in sparing the rod? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that is the importance of being able to have temperance and also being able to balance being a disciplinarian and a good parent, while at the same time not being abusive. It's a fine line between abuse and sparing the rod. It's a fine line between abuse and sparing the rod. But what I'm telling you is that the way that most of us grew up is that it wasn't no line. It was blurred. And you wasn't outraged when you got older. You never confronted your mama or your grandmother as a result of it. So don't sit here talking about being outraged about this shit. I said what I said, bro. I said what I said. I believe that a lot of people are fake outraged. I believe a lot of people are fake outraged. You think it's a big line? Okay, that's fair. I don't have no problems with people disagreeing with me. I'm with it. That's why we have the conversations. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I don't want to be in a space where people agreeing with me for the sake of agreeing with me. Guess what? We're going to disagree on this one, and we're going to agree on the next one, maybe, and then we're going to move on. But in order for us to have the uncomfortable conversation, we can't just all just agree with it just because everybody else agree with it. We got to be authentic with our thoughts and with our experiences. We have to be authentic with our thoughts and with our experiences. My daughter didn't need all of that. We have to be authentic with our thoughts and our experiences. Y'all call me out, Anton, I don't agree with you. That's fair. I don't agree with you either, but hopefully we agree on the next one. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification. I never beat my daughter. None of my nephews ever got beat, and they both good young men and never even had physical. God bless you. God bless you. I hope that everything worked out for y'all. Guess what? I needed that shit. I needed every whooping. Let me tell you something. And I'm going to just keep it 100. I ain't even going to talk about nobody else. I'm going to just talk about myself. Every whooping I got was well earned and it was deserved. I can't think of any whooping that I got that I didn't deserve or that I didn't need. I needed every bit of it. I probably needed a couple more that I got away with that I just never got caught for. Every single one of us. Not one of us. Every single whooping that I got, I deserved it. I earned it. You go ahead, talk about your nephews. I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about myself. I earned that shit. I got away with some stuff I probably shouldn't have got away with. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I didn't get it, I probably would be in jail today. I probably would be in jail today. It's the same thing, Chris James, as far as I'm concerned. So, do I think that it's a balance? Yep. Do I think that it's right? Most of the time, no. As far as the fact that the child died, am I justifying the fact that the child died? Nope. I also don't know all of the details, so it's hard for me to judge. I can only go based off of the surface information that they gave me. But let me just say this. I think that the majority of people having fake outrage, and that's just the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the out. This is why we do what we do here on the Millionaire Morning Show. We not gonna agree on everything, and that's okay. But we're not gonna censor anybody anyway, either way, as long as they're not disrespectful. Anton Hill, that's a phenomenal name, sir. Says, and that's why the culture, that's why the culture is trash. Talking about that last thing. Raheem says we got beat so bad you got to fake the pain, cry in order to generate some sympathy to stop. Facts. Baker's Block says, nah, call your mama right now and ask her, did she use hands and feet? Did she use hands and feet? No, she used a belt. She used a belt. I don't have to call her to ask her if she used hands and feet. No, she didn't use hands and feet. She would have if she needed to. I tell you what, this is what my mother's and my parents' philosophy was. I'll take you out before the system will. I'm gonna take you out before they get you. I'll take you out before you get out there and embarrass me and do something that you're not supposed to do. That's what it was. It's what it is. That's what it was. That was my parents' philosophy, and I'm very thankful, very, very thankful that they had that philosophy. I didn't like it at the time, but it sure drove the devil away. All right. Toon says most of us got beat, but I don't think any of our parents were so delusional and frustrated to the point to beat the kid to death. 392Q. Okay, so if some of y'all can't disagree respectfully, you're gonna get timed out in the chat. I know that y'all emotional. I know that it probably went a little bit further for y'all. Some of y'all probably should be a little bit more mad at the fact that y'all that your uncle was touching you instead of being mad at you getting a whooping. My bad. I ain't meant to say that out loud. Did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? My bad. Sorry. 392Q says this is a result of gentle parenting. Raheem says Either your parents discipline now or life will literally break you down. Because I don't want people to overcorrect and think that the rod of correction is not a thing that I advocate for. And you end up crying on TikTok about how you can't do this life stuff no more. Facts. Mythology Noir says Penny catching them iron buns, but wasn't abuse at all. No, mama, no. Facts. Kate McCargo says I nominate Anton for a Grammy for his acting performances last week. Obama, Dr. Umar, Brandon Johnson, and the bank robber on his last pillow run talking. Yeah, it was a fun show. I can't wait to be back in the studio tomorrow. I'm catching the first thing smoking after the Q show tonight, and I'm gonna be back in the studio in the morning. I'm gonna sleep on the plane. I got a 4-hour plane ride. I'm gonna take a nap and then I'm gonna sleep on the plane. Manny Plays PC says my mom raised 4 boys on her own. She would tear into us if we did something we weren't supposed to do, and I was very thankful for it. Mine's too. Well, she didn't raise us on our own, but we got to it. All right, y'all. No Tubi movies for me though. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I want to get into one more thing. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all determine which direction that we go. Do y'all want to go into the illegal migrant with a California driver's license that killed 3 in the Florida crash? Or do you want to go straight to DC? I heard it was a man that was assaulting a woman. And he shot her too. We're gonna do both. Trying to figure out what order y'all want to go into. Truck driver, DC migrant, DC. All right, let's start off with the DC thing. All right, so we're gonna give me a second. I want to go over to this thing over in L. All right, so look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into the woman getting assaulted, that got shot in Los Angeles, and then we're gonna go into the DC migrants, and then or the DC thing, and then we're gonna go into the migrants. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Let me switch over to the premium account, and then we're gonna go. Let's do that because I want to stay on the assaults real quick.
And more breaking news this morning, a double shooting in Harvard Heights leaves 1 person dead and another injured.
Police say the suspect was attacking a woman when another man tried to intervene to help, and that's when the suspect, they say, shot them both before taking off. KTLA's Omar Lewis live in Harvard Heights, where we're just learning some new breaking developments.
All right, before we get into this sassy reporter, he seemed extra sassy, so we're going to hold off for 1 second. What I tell y'all about putting yourselves in a situation where somebody is having a domestic dispute? What I tell y'all about it? Anton, don't say that, because when you see somebody or a woman under duress, you got to help them. That ain't no. I guess this is the Anton You Wrong show. I'll take that. This is the Anton You're Wrong show. Okay, listen. Call the police. Call the authorities. Get in touch with the people that can ultimately get the security guards. Whatever you got to do. But let me tell you something, bro. You're going to be shot right there with her, and nobody is going to come and save you. Nobody gonna give you a gold medal. Nobody is gonna give you a plaque. She not gonna give you no pussy. It ain't gonna be none of that. If you keep trying to put yourself in a situation, and I know that it's not the popular PC thing to do, because all of the women is on the internet right now on TikTok saying, what happened to the real men that let you get that, when you get on a train? I seen a woman get on a train today and there was a bunch of men sitting down and ain't nobody want to get her up. What happened to the men? Oh my God, I got fought inside of the parking lot. Yeah. That was your daddy in them. That's not us. I'm not like that. I'll die for the person that I'm responsible for the people that's with me. They make police officers for the rest of these situations. You're going to get us both killed. If I hadn't jumped in it, we both probably wouldn't have been shot. You just might have just been hurt a little bit. You might have had your ego bruised, all of that, but I think you're going to get us both killed. And I'm not. You know what? I got a lot to live for. I got a lot to live for. They say one life is not as valuable. All lives are equal. I said, you lied to me. You lied to me. I don't see it. I'm different. I don't see it. You're not going to convince me that it makes sense to go out there and crash out for somebody that I don't know, that probably don't give a F about me. And let's be clear, I don't agree with crime. I think that crime should just be eradicated as much as possible. I believe we need more police officers. I believe we need more federal officers. We need all of that. But what I am saying is you got to be careful, and you got to make sure that you first think about self-preservation. You know what they say on a plane? Let me tell you what they say on a plane. Because Daniel Penny, they tried to throw him in jail for life. Daniel Penny, they tried to throw him in jail for life. You know what they do on a plane? When you first get on a plane and they say, and preach, if there's ever an emergency, there's an oxygen mask that comes down. You know what else they say after that? They say, before you try to help anybody else, make sure, they don't say this exactly, but I'm paraphrasing. Before you save anybody else, make sure you put your own oxygen mask on. They say self-preservation first. Self-preservation first. You can't help anybody until you help yourself first. I am going to do everything I can to call 911 and hurry up and get my phone out and get the police officers and the responding officers over there. I'm going to do it. You know how he got shot? He didn't get the responding officers over there. I don't know. I'm just talking. It may be different. I reserve the right to change my mind if I learn more about the story. Let's see our zesty bestie. Let's see what he got to say.
More.
Lauren, Megan, we can tell you we just received an update from officers out here who tell us that the suspect is.
Y'all think he's zesty? Let me see.
Megan, we can tell you we just received an update from officers out here who tell us that the suspect is no longer on the run and committed suicide right here on the same street where the original shooting occurred. You're taking a.
I don't know, because it's weird. Because when they first announced him, it made it seem like his movements was a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Omar Lewis live in Harvard Heights, where we're just learning some new breaking developments.
It's that one. It's the head to the side part. Listen, look at
KTLA's Omar Lewis live in Harvard Heights, where we're just learning some new breaking developments.
It's that one. It's right there. That's it. That was it. That's it right there. It's that part. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of guys, all right, so let me break this down. A lot of guys actually just like that old school look. They like the old school 50s zoot suit, part in the hair, got the good hair, whatever. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys just take care of themselves. And I'm also taking into consideration that he's on the news. So on the news, they make you cut your mustache, which is one of the reasons why I couldn't be on the news, because I'm going to have my beard and my mustache. All right. They put a bunch of makeup on you. A lot of guys is just, they fashion forward. They like that throwback 50s, 60s, 70s look. And that's what they go with. But it's you know what I'm saying? It's the head switch.
KTLA's Omar Lewis live in Harvard Heights, where we're just learning some new breaking developments.
That's that one right there. That's it. That's it right there. You know what I'm saying? And listen, do what you want to do what you got to do. But the same way that we judge all newscasters and news anchors and the ladies that be on these, we got to pay attention. Let's get it. Let me stop being distracted.
Elements, Omar.
Lauren, Megan, we can tell you we just received an update from officers out here who tell us that the suspect is no longer on the run and committed suicide right here on the same street where the original shooting occurred. You're taking a live look where that shooting unfolded here on St. Andrew's Place in LA's Harvard Heights neighborhood. You can see several Officers remain out here on the scene at this hour. The LAPD says this all started when a woman was assaulted and then later shot and killed by that suspect. A passerby, a good Samaritan who tried to intervene, was also gunned down. We can show you this all started when a woman was assaulted and then later shot and killed by that suspect. A passerby, a good Samaritan who tried to intervene, was also gunned down.
I'm gonna say this too. I'm trying to get the details, but I'm veering off. That officer is bad built. Now, that's not bad in a good way. That one. What is going on with these officers, y'all?
A passerby, a good Samaritan who tried to intervene.
What's going on with these officers? What's up with these backs? These big backs? These little girls' big backs? What's going on with this? What's up with these little girls' big backs? What is going on? You know what? I don't know. I don't know if this is a gift or a curse for me to be paying attention so much to the details. Why are you so little in your calves and your legs and your arms and your back is so big? That's what are y'all? What? Somebody said that's the Mucinex build. I don't be knowing what's going on, bro. It's not equal. Like when your food passed through, it's not going all the way to your legs or something. It's not going out to your arms. It just stays stuck right at the top. It'll stay stuck right here, and then it got that muffin top. Like a Tasmanian devil. Oh man, y'all are crazy. Y'all nuts. Somebody said there's something wrong with you. No, it's something wrong with all of us. I just so happen to be the one that's on here talking about it. Listen, we all broken. Look how well the chat come up with jokes. Look how it ain't me, it's the chat. It's all of us. I'm not the only person here that's trying to figure out what the heck is going on. The chat are the savages too. Hold them accountable. Don't hold me. Y'all hold each other accountable. Don't hold me accountable.
Was also gunned down. We can show you the video from this chaotic scene that unfolded just after 10:30 last night. Witnesses say an unidentified man was seen attacking a woman outside an LA apartment complex here on St. Andrew's Place near Pico Boulevard. But what began as a cry for help from that woman being assaulted ended in tragedy here. The woman screamed for help, drawing the attention of a family driving by. The father stepped out to intervene, but the attacker pulled a gun, firing into the family's SUV before shooting that good Samaritan. Moments later, he turned the weapon on the woman he had been assaulting. Video shows paramedics performing CPR on that woman here at the scene.
Dang, that's messed up. What do you do in that type of situation, bro? Like, what do you do? You see a woman that's getting assaulted. This is a real question. This is a reasonable question. You see a woman that's getting assaulted. You're riding by with your family, right? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Because it doesn't even mean that they know each other. You don't know if they know it. You don't know nothing. All you see is a woman that's being assaulted. What do you do? Of course, you call the police. But I'm going to be honest with you. Our natural instincts as a person, as a man, is just to jump in. Oh my God, I can't believe it. We actually have been programmed by women, believe it or not. We have been programmed by women to not intervene because y'all have told us, y'all have sued us. You know, we see the black community, depending on if it's black or white, you got to make an assessment of the race of the person. Because if you're a white man and you see a black couple going into it and you grab that black man and you kill him, you might be on trial for manslaughter because they're going to say you didn't have to kill him and all of this stuff. Society, the culture, everybody have been programmed to have to rethink your decision of what our natural instinct is when we see something like this happening because of the way that we've tried to overcorrect the things that happen inside of the culture from the previous years. Honestly, my natural instinct is, oh man, I can't believe it. Oh God, you know. But I've trained myself. Wait a minute. You know, we not appreciated. We've seen too many guys suffer. We've seen too many people die. We've seen somebody intervene in a domestic violence situation and he wind up getting beat up or something like that, or he crash out and then she still stay with the guy. You said call the cops and leave. No. You can't leave, bro. You can't leave. You listen, I'm not telling y'all to intervene, but what I am saying is you got to call the cops, and at the very least, you got to at least make sure that the cops get there. Damn. This is a hard situation, honestly. This is a hard situation. It's a very difficult thing to put together, honestly.
She was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. The father was also transported with a gunshot wound but remains in stable condition, according to the last update that we received. A bullet hole is still visible in the side of that white SUV belonging to the victims. The suspect, again, fled and was later pronounced dead on this scene after officers say he committed suicide right here on St. Andrew's Place. Back out here live again, the LAPD remains on the scene. The investigation into all of this continues at this hour. That is the latest for now here live from LA's Harvard Heights neighborhood. I'm Omar Lewis. We'll send it back to you.
Oh, see, yep, it's the hand on it's the hand. He put his hands on his hips. It's that hand on the hips. Doing too many questionable
Live
things.
from LA's Harvard Heights neighborhood. I'm Omar Lewis. We'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
Yep. It's the hand on the hips, the sticking your It's that. It's all of that, bro. It's the movements.
LA's Harvard Heights neighborhood. I'm Omar Lewis. We'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's it. You can't avoid that. You can't avoid that. But it is a situation, honestly. It is a situation. I don't know how you handle that. I don't know what you do with that situation. He got a bad hip. From what? But no, honestly, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know if there's a wrong thing or anything like that. I don't know if it's a wrong thing to do.
Hello?
What up? I'm on a live stream. What's happening?
My bad. That was an accident.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry about that.
No, you cool.
All
right, bye. I've been getting a lot of people that's been mistakenly calling me. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications. No more excuses, says I'll keep it simple. A lot of people want to be the disciplinary, but don't even know discipline themselves. Let that, oh man, now you touching some. Frank Whitaker says it was getting switches from the bush and seeing them plated and getting the lecture while feeling the sting, while knowing it was coming, wet from the rain, skipping school and getting caught. Never skip school again. Yeezbay says she looks like Oh my God. She said she looks like a wisdom tooth. Y'all are the worst ever. Oh, man, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. And then they wonder where I get it from. I get it from y'all. I'm influenced by y'all. I'm influenced by y'all. For the collection plate, the chat is undefeated. Shout out to Mr. Joe. Fact. She built like Johnny Bravo. Oh, man. The Q show is going to be lit tonight. I tell you that much. It's going to be lit tonight. She was shaped like an umpire. I'm going to stop pointing out things that I noticed because y'all are the worst, bro. This chat is the worst ever. Ever. Let me see what we got going on. Woman assaulted. Covered that. All right, we're going to get to that one. All right, so let's go here. Let me switch over. I always got to make sure that I'm switching over. Share this one.
And first up here at 11 o'clock, 7 News on your side, taking a closer look at community reaction to National Guard and federal law enforcement presence in D.C. one weekend. Good evening, I'm Josh Chapins. The patrols have resulted in more than 300 arrests so far. Our Christian Flores is speaking with residents across the district tonight.
Here at Union Station, National Guard troops are standing by. A White House official says they're here for crime deterrence. And over the past 10 days, with the federal troops being first deployed, we've been going around the city talking with residents, asking them how they feel about this presence, with more than 1,500 National Guard troops set to be here.
As National Guard troops and police officers have stationed at Union Station, some D.C. residents are asking why this is necessary.
Because I think DC MPD was doing a great job. I think it's a heavy-handed presence.
However, take a drive to parts of the city plagued by violent crime.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this community that could benefit from increased policing.
And you will find...
What? Wait a minute. No. Not a black woman. See, the white people are standing there with their hands on their hips. I don't understand. It's a little heavy-handed. But the black people that is on the ground in the streets, the woman that's Andrea Davis, ANC Commissioner in Ward 8, they're saying, wait a minute, hold on. We could use a little bit more police officers to deter the crime of what's going on. That's what I've been seeing. I did review videos yesterday. I got review videos coming up today of people that are saying, listen, we want police. Listen, the only reason that you wouldn't want more police officers, a stronger presence in your neighborhood is if you are the person that is committing the crimes, or you just joining in on the Kumbaya parade. That's the only reason you wouldn't want it. Anytime that I go downtown, I can always tell when it's something happening. They don't mess around. Hey, they'll tell you, zero tolerance. Zero tolerance. We have no room. That's why when we had the draft here, people like, man, it wasn't no problems, no issues, no trouble. Listen, it was way worse. They had drones in the sky. They had people on the boats inside of the water. It was dogs walking around, and it was people that actually probably was going to scan the crowd. They be having different things where they can watch and see to see if anybody got something that they don't have. And guess what? Everybody had a good time. And part of the reason why everybody had a good time is because it was no fear of something happening that wasn't supposed to happen. It was no fear of something happening that it wasn't supposed to happen. We've been trained to not think that we're real enough if we haven't been through some bull inside of our communities. We've been trained to think that crime is normal. It's not normal. It's not supposed to be normal. We have been conditioned to think that is supposed to be a dope boy on the corner, that the girls are supposed to be getting hit on, the 13-year-old girls are supposed to be getting hit on by the older guys that then tell them to come get in the car. We've been conditioned to think that the little girls in high school are supposed to have an older boyfriend that's not inside of high school. We've been conditioned to believe that it's normal for you to just get touched on by your uncle. We've been conditioned to believe that, you know, the robberies and the crimes, and you can't leave your car outside with the doors unlocked, or you got to block it in by another car that's not as valuable in order for it not to get stolen. We've been conditioned to believe that this is what life is supposed to look like. And then when a police officer come by, we say, fuck the police. With the police. We got programmed through the music. Man, F the police. F the police. F the police. We didn't say stop the crime. Stop the crime. You know what we do? We march. We march. We'll have a community vigil when somebody dies. We'll put candles on the ground.
That could benefit from increased policing.
And you will find residents and community leaders pining for more patrol, like in the Fairlawn community in Southeast DC, where we have reported on shell casings being left behind and a car riddled with bullet holes after recent shootings.
I saw MPD accompanied with ATF today, and they retrieved the firearm.
This video capturing arrests and officers seizing a handgun.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you.
A White House official says officers have made 308 arrests and confiscated 53 firearms since this operation began 10 days ago.
We need to be showing law enforcement in those areas where sections of our...
You hear how quiet it is outside? Y'all ain't never heard those? You ain't never heard the cascadas, the grasshoppers or whatever? Y'all ain't never heard those because you so used to hearing... You ain't used to hearing nature. You know why you ain't got no deer in your neighborhood? It ain't because you in the city. It's because the deer know where the criminals is at. The deer know where the criminals is at. You don't have seagulls. You got crows and you got vultures that are sitting there going over the sky. Pigeons. To let you know when the police is coming. That's what we used to.
Of our community are up in crime.
I think they could do more because there's a whole lot of drug activity and prostitution and drug addicts in this community.
With National Guard troops arriving in D.C. from South Carolina, West Virginia, and Ohio, residents across the city remain split on the response.
That gun today that was recovered right across the street, right in front of the same elementary school. This 2200 block of Minnesota Avenue, we have to clean it up.
Yeah, you have young people who rob CVS's, and yeah, you have young people who will go and take down a 7-Eleven. But the answer isn't pouring the National Guard in here. The answer is programs that raise kids.
Think about what he just said. Yeah, you got young people that knock over a CVS and rob them. Yeah, you got young people that are going rob a 7-Eleven. Nigga, what? What did you just say? But the answer is not to have more police officers. Meanwhile, I guarantee you that he doesn't live in a neighborhood where people are going back home after knocking over a 7-Eleven and a CVS. It's always the people that don't actually experience it, that didn't grow up in it, that don't live around it, that are the biggest advocates to making sure that we reduce the police presence inside of the communities. The real racism, in my opinion, the real racism is to allow for communities to be under siege by criminals and gangs. To be under siege by criminals and gangs. Somebody sent me a video of somebody that was talking about me, and they was saying Anton don't know what talking about DC. He look. This is what he said. He said anybody that come to DC and go to the White House, I know they ain't one of us. Nigga, what you want me to do? Come to your spot? You got a place that's accommodating. Usually when we go to DC, we want to go and visit and see tourist areas and destinations. And we want to go to restaurants and we want to go and sit around with our families and go and view the White House. That's what normal, everyday Americans do. Nigga, what you want me to come to your hood? You want me to come hang with the thugs? Huh? Is that what you want? You want me to come make sure that I'm around y'all? Want me to come and petition, hey, can I come to the barbecue? They want me to check in a neighborhood that they don't own in their mama's basement. Want me to check in? Is that what y'all want? You got something to do? You got something better to do? You got an activity? You got a concert that you're putting on, a community event? You got something that's happening? You poor motherfuckers. So sick of y'all brokies talking about and having conversations about what's going on. Yeah, man, I checked out on Anton. I done subscribed from him a long time ago. That's cool. Finally, we filtering through the people that shouldn't be here in order to get the people that's on board that's supposed to be here. Welcome to all of the new people, new black people, new white people, new Asian people that actually wants smarter, wiser jobs, communities that don't advocate for people with felonies. I can't believe it. Yeah, man, they not a real one. Nigga, you can't even speak real English. You can't speak real English. Do you even have do you have a high school diploma, a GED, anything? Always can tell when the felons get together. Always can tell when the fellas, let me tell you something. That's a poor black people thing. When poor whites get together, they argue over beer, meth. You know, they complain about the fact that their girlfriends left them. Trust me. Oh, y'all seen it. Remember when I used to have black people, white people come up here and complain? They whine because they don't have any money. I can't believe you supported that guy. I supported this guy. They don't argue over the crime that's in the community. Poor whites, they argue over, you know, who wrestled, who stole the hog mog, who wrestled the gator. Did you get grandma's prescription medicine? No, God, I can't believe it. Can't believe it. I don't know what to do. Yeah, they argue over the last beer. We argue over how we can support criminals in our community. That's what we argue over. They sleep with each other's mothers and stuff, and they don't even trip about it. They sleep. His friend winds up becoming his stepfather, and that's why he pissed. Because his stepfather is banging his mother, and he slept overnight, and he didn't expect it because he thought he was a loyal friend. That's what poor white people argue over. Honestly, that's what poor white people argue over. Black people, they be trying to gatekeep. Nigga, don't nobody want your poor ass community. Nobody want your Section 8 housing. What you gatekeeping? Your student loans? You gatekeeping that musty hole that you trying to stop somebody? Anton ain't gonna be talking to my girl. He ain't hugging my girl. I don't want that bitch. You can keep her. Nobody want that little musty hole. They ain't gonna be talking to my girl. I don't want that bull nose ring having funky bad attitude. You can single mother. You can keep. We trying to gatekeep something from somebody. Gatekeep what? We need all the help that we can get. Every single piece of help that you can get. Yeah, this is not the time to try to prevent white people and Asian people and Indian people. Nigga, you need all the help that we need. Every piece of help that we can get. I don't want your little funky, disease infested, herpes having, funky little hoe. You can have her, nigga. I promise you, I don't want her. Don't want her. Got bum bumps all over her mouth. You can have your mother's basement. I promise you I'm not going to try to come and get your Nissan Altima, your Charger RT. I don't want your little poor selves. You so poor. I don't want your little funky neighborhood. I'm not going to come over there and stop y'all from having tent cities. I'm not going to come and try to infiltrate to prevent the man just trying to hold us down. What are they trying to hold you down from? Keeping yourself from smoking crack? Y'all swear niggas be trying to come for y'all. Man, I can't believe Trump is infiltrating the black community. It's because he hate us. Don't nobody want your crackheads. Look, they're arresting black people. Arresting you because you got a pistol, nigga, and you just shot 4 kids. Nobody wants your little funky crackhead uncle. It costs us more to housing than it does to actually, like, we would prefer for, listen, this is the thing that I've learned as I've evolved, right, as an older man. We would like for you to be a productive citizen, because when you're not a productive citizen, you don't bring in any revenue so that we can then tax you. This is the business of America. Let me bring you into the business of America. Let me spend 10 minutes helping you to understand why America don't give a fuck about black people in the way that you think that they give a fuck about black people, okay? You listening, Pumpkin? All right, I'm going to give you a little lesson. One of the benefits of productive black citizens is that they add to the tax rolls. You know what the worst thing is for a city? The hood. You know why the hood is the worst thing for the city? Is because it drains resources and it puts nothing back in. So usually what happens is the hood needs the most resources, whether they advocating for the most money for their schools and their communities. But the problem is, and I'm gonna give you an economic lesson. The problem is that what pays for your schools and your infrastructure and your police officers and even your politicians is your property taxes. When you don't own anything and everything is a Section 8 house, the valuation of that property is down, which means that the city doesn't take in as much revenue, which means that the state then has to subsidize the city, even though you guys are the most needy. What happens is they have to drain from other taxpayers. So what happens is that they would like to invest in you if they could see a return. This is the business of America, the business of your state, of your city. And so they would like to see a return on their investment. And so they would like for you to get a job. Why? Because if you are trained for the jobs and then you're able to get one, that means that it adds you into the tax rolls. If you're on the tax rolls, you then can be able to buy homes. If you're buying homes, you have dollars circulating in your community, you raise the property values, they can tax you more. When you go into these communities that are upper echelon, and this goes for white people too, okay? There are white communities and trailer parks that don't generate revenue. And so the lower the property values, the more money that the federal government and the state have to send in order to make sure that your kids get educated. So then you will have a Brandon Johnson sitting here saying, I taught 7th grade math or 7th grade geography, and our kids need more resources. You won't have him saying dumb stuff and asking the state for more money only so they can waste it in the community, because it's only going to produce more drug dealers, more felonies. And instead of you being a benefit to the community in which you're adding to the tax rolls, what you're doing is driving down the property values. They can't tax you at all, but then we also have to house you. We also have to pay for you as a prisoner. It costs what, $65,000, $70,000 a year to keep you in the system. It actually drains us. So the more productive that a citizen is, the better it is for the community. So why would they stop you from being productive citizens if you're so awesome, right? Because there's nothing beneficial about arresting you. It actually makes it worse. It costs more money. There's nothing beneficial by arresting you. But if they can actually keep the community safe, it then fosters a better environment for you to then generate more revenue, create more productive citizens, have more healthy households, and actually circulate the dollar. The thing that the Black community don't understand is that with all of the buying power that they have, they think that the government or white people would want to prevent them from actually circulating the dollar in their community. If it circulates within your community because you have a productive community, that then means you generate more revenue that goes into the state, the federal government, and everybody benefits. If you're winning, we benefit. When you win as a culture, as a society, the United States of America benefits. He's wrong. Anton needs to come off of his high horse. You don't even have your own name. You using the name of another nigga in a profile that you admire. You're an admirer. You don't even have confidence in yourself. You're absolutely positively a part of the homosexual community. You are an alphabet boy game. And I ain't talking about the ATF or the FBI. You sucking another nigga dick with his profile picture. You actually crop that out and put that as your profile picture, and you have the nerve to say anything to me? You don't even believe in yourself. You believe in yourself as much as your dad believed in you. That's why he left your mother. You believe in you as much as your dad left. Listen, people that pick profile pictures of other people and celebrities are worse than people that don't have a profile picture at all. Because you actually took time to get a profile picture of Andrew Tate, and that's not even you. That's your idol. Do you know how much of a bitch you are as a grown man to pick another grown man as your profile picture and not even yourself? You don't even like yourself? Boy, you the last nigga. You need to shut the fuck up and just listen. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen, bro. That's the last thing that you should do. Now, back to our community programs. The most productive thing that you can do is go to work, pay your taxes, take care of business, and make sure that you're solving for the crime in your community, because when you win, everybody wins. Nobody benefits when your community is in shambles. Nobody benefits if your community is in shambles. You want to see where that's the biggest example of that in the United States of America right now? Where do you think that the biggest example of that in the United States of America is right now? If you had to guess. If you had pick a large city where that's the biggest example of the collapse of a community based off of advocating for the wrong things, voting for the wrong people, and then making sure that you're not addressing a crime in the United States of America. It's not Chicago. When I see it in the chat, I'll acknowledge it. Oh, I ain't lose focus. I'm 100% focused. Nope, it's not Los Angeles. Nope, not Detroit. Nope, not Denver. Chicago. Nope, not Chicago and LA. Nope, not Seattle. Not Los Angeles. Not New York. Nope, not Memphis. Not Philly. Nope, it is on the West Coast, though. I give you that. It's not ATL. It's not New Orleans. Nope. Not Atlanta. Not DC. Not Memphis. Not St. Louis. Oh, you got it. Shout out to Nelly Domingo. Shout out to Nelly Domingo. It is Oakland. And I love my people from Oakland, but there has never been a better example of the collapse of a city when it comes to their cultural norms. And Oakland is the best representation of it. They have lost everything. They have lost hotels that is close to the actual airport. They have lost their teams. They have lost the Oakland A's. They are riddled with homelessness, and the governor can't even stop what's going on over there. Their mayor just got indicted. They have no leadership. They have corruption. They have homelessness. They have no jobs. They have nothing. 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 It is messed up, bro. It is messed up. It is completely a hellhole. Somebody sent me a video of what happens to Oakland at night. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. It's sad. And I'm not saying this to actually go off on Oakland or to say anything negative about them. I'm saying it because I would love for every portion of America, every crevice of America to thrive, because when America thrives, the rest of the country thrives. I don't want Oakland to be Oakland. I think that we need to send the National Guard and the FBI, city by city, state by state. I think that they need to take over Oakland. Gary is not nowhere near as bad as Gary. I went and visited Gary multiple different times. Gary actually has some decent parts. Oakland has become the armpit of America. And it's messed up. It's messed up. It's so dirty. It is so messed up, bro. I just can't believe it, bro. They need to get tough. That's how they cleaned up New York City. They got tough on crime. Stop and frisk helped to clean up the city. It did. It helped to clean up New York City. New York City came back as far as from the crime and all of the corruption and the gangs because they got tough on crime. Yes, Oakland is that bad, and they know it's that bad. They know it's that bad. They built, listen, everything in Oakland came to Las Vegas. Oakland Raiders is the Las Vegas Raiders. Oakland A's, Las Vegas A's, baby. How do you know when a city has completely collapsed? Every business leaves, even a sports team said, we out. When all of your sports teams leave, that's when you know that it's over. When all of your sports teams exit out the building, it's over, bro. It's over. That's done. Y'all lost one of the most valuable franchises. They don't have a basketball team. They don't have. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. All y'all got is E. Fonzarelli. I don't even know if E40 lived there no more. It's messed up out there, bro. It's messed up. Filthy Rich. I love Filthy. I love Filthy. Shout out to Filthy Rich. I love Filthy. He just dropped a new song. I think it's dope. God is good to keep on blessing me. Shout out to Filthy Rich. I love Filthy. I love 40. Fonzarelli. Burner. Shout out to Burner. But it's messed up out there. It's messed up, bro. But anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Big 5'9", yeah. Seminary. It's seminary to the death of me. Y'all don't know nothing about that. It's too above. That's too way beyond your pay range, bro. See, I don't think I be knowing what's happening. I be knowing what's happening out here in these streets. KJ says, I need my fiance, brothers, and male cousins to make it home. Even though I'm a woman, I wouldn't want them to get involved. Call the cops, maybe stay around, but that's it. Mama says, Mama, the white people who don't want it are the real racists, as a white woman, too many act like they care, but they truly hope for them to hurt each other, and it's truly sick. Chris H says, In-N-Out closer, first location ever in Oakland. Really? Carrington Love Jr. says, man, it's so many broke boys, Anton. There's not even enough high-quality black men to go around for all of the college graduate corporate black women. I got too many 10s in the portfolio. Well, then they all for you. More for you. More for you. More for Carrington. More for Carrington. I know, Kelly. Listen, the minute that we start getting out of our emotions and we start getting real about what's happening, then that's when you can start to solve. That's when you can start to solve for the problem. But the minute, if we just gonna keep on making excuses and blaming white people, you're never gonna solve for the problem. Let me see. How many subjects have we done so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we did 5 so far, something like that. We're about to lose the Bears and they moving to the burbs like I did. Yeah, I heard that they was moving to the burbs. Chicago. Incompetent leadership. Incompetent leadership. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go and visit. I want to cover one more story really quickly. Give me a second. I'm going to close that one. Let's go over here. God is good.
All right, an illegal migrant.
It's seminary to the death of me. It's $100,000 for this new S63. Yeah. They say a day late in the dollar show. Paid $100,000, not $1 more. Shout out to Filthy Rich.
All right, an illegal migrant has now been charged after his truck jackknifed a minivan while making an illegal U-turn, killing the 3 people inside the van. The migrant, who is believed to have crossed the border illegally in 2018, was granted a commercial driver's license by the state of California. He now faces vehicular homicide charges and deportation. Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier joins me now to talk about this horrific situation. Attorney General, thank you so much for joining us. What was your reaction when you saw this footage and realized this man cost 3 people their lives?
Yeah, it's a horrific situation. California should not have provided this person the driver's license and a permit, not just for a car, but to drive.
He didn't even flinch. He didn't even did you see what his reaction was?
And realized this man cost 3 people their lives.
Yeah, it's a horrific.
He didn't even oh my God, I can't believe it. All of this. He didn't even flinch. He didn't even trip. He just put it in park okay, let me see what's. Oh, man. Boy, you know they going to get your butt. He didn't even flinch. He didn't even trip about it.
Situation. California should not have provided this person the driver's license and a permit, not just for a car, but to drive large-scale trucks, to then drive into Florida, engage in this dangerous behavior and take the lives of 3 others is really a tragedy, but it shows how dangerous the open border policies under Obama and Biden have been that have continued to wreak havoc on communities across the country. We're certainly going to charge that person with the heaviest crimes we can and make sure that he gets locked up for as long as possible before then being deported back where he came from.
Yeah, and if you
remember when I did a story some months ago where the Trump administration had signed an executive order that then that required all truck drivers to actually be able to speak English and speak and be able to read and write. And remember when everybody was all upset at that and I can't believe it. You're trying to require for them to speak English and read and write English. I mean, that's a safety issue. They can't even read the signs and they over here illegally. Why wouldn't I require for them to be able to speak English and to be able to read the signs? So you're just going off the colors?
watch this footage as you did and we just showed, I mean, the people in this black minivan had absolutely no time to react. It was a 30-year-old, a 37-year-old, and a 50-year-old. Two of them died on impact, and one of them died at the hospital. Absolutely tragic situation. And you touched on this. Why, if you cross into the country illegally, are you allowed to get a commercial driver's license in the state of California?
That's crazy.
Well, you shouldn't be able to, and we're certainly going to look at ways that we can go after California, fight back, and protect our citizens. Here in Florida, if you're an illegal, you are not going to get a driver's license under no circumstances. We made that law in this state many years ago when we banned the opportunity for sanctuary cities. So it's a tragedy, but when it comes from California, nothing surprises me these days. Gavin Newsom should focus more on rule of law than crying and defending these heinous criminals.
Yeah, well, if he is found guilty of homicide, he will likely serve his sentence in Florida. Can you confirm that he will? And if so, what kind of time is he looking at before he is deported?
Sure. Well, yeah, I can confirm we're not going to deport or let this guy out of our sights until we have convicted him and ensured that he is behind bars for as long as possible, likely the rest of his life. Only then will we hand him over to ICE for deportation, but he's going to serve his time.
Okay, on to another topic here. Last week, you became the first state attorney general.
I don't care about that. I want to know more about this whole situation. Let me pivot for a second because I want to know more about this guy. Let's see if I can throw him up on the screen. They said that the illegal trucker that was released on bond. Have y'all heard that? Just a couple minutes ago that he was released on bond? Hold on one second. Hold on. I can't believe this.
Another alleged deadly crime now highlighting President Trump's immigration crackdown. Watch this horrifying video. It's from Florida last week, and it shows a minivan slamming into a semi-truck. Look at that. It's gone. Driving that truck, an illegal immigrant accused of trying a reckless U-turn across 3 lanes on a highway. Who does that? That crash killed 3 people inside that minivan. A senior ICE source says U.S. Marshals arrested that illegal immigrant in California over the weekend. He will be extradited to Florida to face 3 counts of vehicular homicide. Here's Florida's Attorney General.
It's a horrific situation. California should not have provided this person the driver's license and a permit, not just for a car, but to drive large-scale trucks. To then drive into Florida, engage in this dangerous behavior and take the lives of 3 others is really a tragedy, but it shows how dangerous the open border policies under Obama and Biden have been that have continued to wreak havoc on communities across the country.
Our senior correspondent, Jonathan Siri, has more on this story. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Aisha. Authorities have identified the truck driver as 28-year-old Harjinder Singh. And they say he was an Indian national. He faces 3 counts of vehicular homicide stemming from that fatal crash on Florida's Turnpike. It happened on Tuesday. Florida authorities say the 28-year-old trucker was making an illegal U-turn, crossing the median using an area that was designated for official use only. You can see a minivan behind him slamming into the trailer, crushed underneath, fatally injuring 3 Florida residents who were riding inside. 2 died at the scene, a 3rd died at the hospital. State troopers issued an ICE detainer for the truck driver after learning he was an illegal migrant. Federal authorities say Singh, an Indian national, entered the U.S. illegally through the Mexico border in September of 2018. He was arrested 2 days later, but claimed he was afraid to go back to his home country. And so he was released on a $5,000 immigration bond. The White House's Rapid Response social media account reposted a video of the accident with a statement criticizing the state of California for granting Singh a commercial driver's license.
So here's the thing. All right. So he wasn't released on $5,000 bond for this issue. He's still arrested on this issue, and they haven't issued him a bond. But when he was originally arrested, and he was supposed to go back to his country because he's here illegally, he was issued a $5,000 bond, and he's still out here driving. So in 2025, that was back in 2018, right? In 2025, he's out here doing his thing. He's driving around. He's having a good time. He's enjoying life. He's making money. He's sending it back to his family. Yep. He's sending it back to his family. A lot of us don't want to have that conversation. We don't want to really deep dive into it. Yep, he sending it back to his family. What does that mean, Anton? They live like kings. They live like kings in other countries when people come over here, make a bunch of money, they send the majority of it back to their family, and their family be back there living like a king. That's the truth. That is the truth. Their families live like kings over from where they came from. Here's the real question that we have to ask ourselves, right? Because we don't know what we don't know until after we find ourselves in a situation where we could have avoided it, right? It's similar because I was talking about this earlier, and I was talking about the Lake and Riley Act, because everybody forget about Lake and Riley and that illegal migrants came over here, and she should be alive today. Would these people still be alive today had this man been arrested and deported back to his country for not being here and coming over here illegally? Would there still be lives? Because now, we have the hindsight, but we don't have the foresight to make sure that people should not be doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing inside of this country. Would these people still be alive if this man was not here illegally? And that's when you start to hold people accountable. That's when you have to start having this uncomfortable conversation.
The California governor's press office quickly responded that Singh entered the U.S. during President Trump's first term and before Gavin Newsom took office. But the Department of Homeland Security is pushing back, saying in a statement to Fox News, 3 innocent people were killed in Florida because Gavin Newsom's California DMV issued an illegal alien a commercial driver's license.
I remember one time when I was younger, and I was a lot more ignorant. Before I had my daughter, I was continuously driving without a license. When I finally decided, you know what? It's time to clean my life up. I'm tired of paying a whole bunch of legal fees. I don't want to be in a position where I don't have my license and that I can't take care of business. This could possibly affect my future employment or anything like that. And I finally decided that I wanted to get things together. I almost had to wait like 6 months before certain things got together for me to even apply to get my license as a legal citizen inside of the United States of America. It was so difficult, and it was so many hoops to jump through in order to officially get my license, because I had to pay off tickets. I had to make sure that I did, boy, y'all. Oh, Ronnie, they had me doing community service. I kid you not. I kid you not. They had me, I had to go do community service. Y'all want it? All right, I'm gonna be for real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. You're gonna learn a little bit more about me today. I was one of those type of people. As a part of my agreement, my lawyer negotiated. This was some other stuff that had to come along with it. I had to make sure that I ain't get no felonies or nothing. They said that I had to go and volunteer painting a school. I also volunteered helping build a community center, and I had to go and pick up some trash on the highway. Oh, yes, I was. I had to go pick up trash. Gave me one of them little things, put it in the trash. I was picking up trash, nigga. I was out there with my community vest, with my the vest, the reflector vest on. Yes, I did. Oakland County. Oh man. Let me see something. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let me see. Electronic copy of your driving record. Go to online services. I don't know what my user ID would be. Let me stop sharing this for a second. Let's see if I can get in here. Terms and conditions. I don't think I got no ID. Do I got an ID? I don't know if I got no ID. Maybe one day I'll try to pull up my driving record for y'all and show y'all exactly what my life used to be like. It was a mess. I was a mess. I was a mess, bro. My account has been disabled. I got to activate my account. How do I activate my account? Select verification method. Passcode is going to be sent. I don't know. It's too much work. Anyways, my life used to be a mess, bro. My life used to be a mess. Oh, man. My life used to be a mess, man. I used to have to figure it out like, oh, man. But I said, you know what? I'm going to make the adjustment. I'm going to get my life together and keep it moving. The reason that I have this conversation is because I just want y'all, because AJ says it's the past, keep it moving forward. You're doing great. No. I mean, I think it's important for us to highlight everything because it's not about whether or not your past defines you. It's about whether or not you can come back from it. And so many people will sit there and tell you and say, oh, man, you just ain't never, man, listen, my life was a mess. My life was a mess. It wasn't no Ubers back then. It wasn't none of that. Bro. So I just had to thug it out. I said, you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do until I can do what I want to do. And I had to thug it out. And so I had to get my life together. Tired of getting pulled over, tired of going through stuff, tired of doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to do. I wasn't trying to go through that again, bro. I had to get my life together, man. That junk was old. It just got old real fast. You know what I'm saying? You just get tired of getting apprehensive every single time the police get behind you. You know that they're going to impound your car. You know that you're going to have to cost extra money. That's the reason why it costs money when you don't do what you're supposed to do, is because everything gets compounded. And so I had to clean up my life, bro. I was like, you know what? I can't keep living like this, bro. I don't want these problems. I don't want these issues. And this is just getting bad. So time to put away the childish things. That was in my 20s. Now, somebody said you still be getting pulled over. Yeah, but it's different now because I got money now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still do what I'm supposed to do. I'm willing to deal with the consequences that come with my actions, but I got lawyers. I got all of that type of stuff now. So we just go ahead and run that off. So anyways, you can come back from it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. How many is that? Is that 6? Let me see what all I talked about. I talked about Vegas. I talked about the 11-year-old Brooklyn shooting. I don't even know how many I talked about. It don't even matter. Let's see. Let's talk about the money, man. I want to talk about the money real quick. Let me see something. Is there something else that I need to? Mortgage rates and owning homes. All right, so let's deep dive into this real quick, y'all. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. and turn on your notifications. I heard that mortgage rates just hit a historic low.
We're getting to the end of what's considered home buying season. Not quite there, but we're getting there. Our real estate guru, Mitch Rochelle, joins me now. Mitch, how do we make, and this has been a big question, how do we make home ownership possible for the next generation? Because it hasn't been that way.
I don't think it's been that way for the last generation, to be honest with you. Home prices are alarmingly high today. But literally pull a tape of me and you talking about this 15 years ago, right? I probably said the same thing then. Wages and salaries aren't keeping pace with the cost of homes. And we had this crazy period of low interest rates, which inflated the bubble even worse. So I personally don't think what's happening right now is a bad thing. Sure, if you're a
lot of people don't take that at face value also. I stopped buying homes to rent back in 2021, 22, and 23. That's the only reason. I mistakenly got into buying land and building houses because I was patient. And the bag chasers, the earlier bag chasers back then, you can remember. And I said, listen, I'm not buying anything right now. And the reason that is the thing that accelerated home prices, and this is what people ain't adding into the conversation, is during the Biden administration, what happened was, in order to try to make sure that they stimulated the economy, this is what happened during the Biden administration, all right? You had an extreme on one side and an extreme on the other side. It wasn't any balance whatsoever. So the extreme on one side is because they wanted to make sure that money was still flowing in the United States of America. What they did was, they made sure that they kept and reduced interest rates to historic lows. Now, what did that do? It basically accelerated the home buying process, but in the process, it also made or created an inflationary home pricing market. So, and I say this all the time, people were buying homes at a crazy rate. They were refinancing, they were buying homes, but they were buying homes at $150,000 over asking. Let me see if I can find one of them. People were lined up during the pandemic. To try to buy a home. They were asking for insane amounts of money, and they were asking $150,000 over asking. And oh, this is my dog, Orlando Minor. I'm gonna use Orlando Minor's video. All right, it's my dog Orlando Minor's video from 4 years ago, and this from 4 years ago. Look at the title of this. First-time home buyer spends $200,000 over asking price. This was a video from 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Okay. So they were buying homes at a crazy number. If y'all want to point back to, because everybody got this revisionist history, right? Everybody got this revisionist history of what really happened because they only focus on what's happening right now, and they're not focusing on what happened back then that created the environment. And when you say, oh man, home prices is off the hook, when Kamala Harris came out and she said, oh, we're going to build 3 million new homes. First of all, the government can't build 3 million new homes. We're going to build 3 million new homes in order to try to ease it. but they didn't actually tell you that they were the ones that created the buying frenzy that then caused people to refinance at crazy rates and to be causing these $200,000 over asking prices for homes. The competition was fierce back then. He talked about it. The housing stock, the competition, investments, don't overpay, money, all of this stuff. And shout out to Orlando Minor. People was doing this without even having, they were doing it without having any inspection or anything like that. And so that was one of the things that created this bubble or created this space where people can't afford homes anymore because they were paying an incredible amount of money in order just to be able to try to get into a home because everybody was working from home. I told people, I said, listen, don't move far away from home. They moved further out. They moved away an hour, 2 hours away from their job because, oh, I'm working from home from now. I remember everybody saying, we never going back into the office. We ain't never going, oh, this has changed everything. I said, man, please don't do this. Please don't make a permanent decision off of a temporary situation. I know somebody right now that's struggling because they took the buyout offer because their job was here in Michigan and they decided that they wanted to move to Florida. They uprooted their entire life and moved to Florida. And then eventually the job that they was working for was like, yo, we doing buyout offers or you got to come back into the office. They took the buyout offer. They can't find a job right now and they struggle. They took the buyout offer because they thought that they would never be going back into the office. And then they thought that they would be working from home forever. I've been warning y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all. I've been trying to put y'all in a position of power and be in a situation. I know I called it. I've been calling everything. Everything I speak about, I give you at least a 4-year view. I say, all right, listen, I told you we're going to revisit this. People was over there going house poor because they was getting a low interest rate. They was paying $200,000 over asking price and all of this stuff. They were asking 200 and people were paying it with no inspection. They went house poor. They had a lot of maintenance issues. And the people that was the sellers, they was like, oh, we can go ahead and take advantage of it. That's how everybody was selling their houses over in California because they had low interest rates because the Biden administration was still trying to keep things in motion. They was trying to keep the money circulating, right? And so they was basically incentivizing people and they incentivized the banks by keeping the rates low. What they did was after that, they realized once the banks did all the refinancing, they had record profits. What did the Biden administration do? They raised interest rates. What did raising interest rates do? It created the situation where you never had the home market. The price of the homes never went down, but the interest rates went up because it was the only way that they can try to tamp down inflation because inflation was at over 10%, 12% in some places. Officially, it was at 9%. So they pulled the rug from under y'all. They made you buy a house for over $200,000 asking, and then they raised up the interest rates to prevent you from being able to buy a home. So now the people that's trying to buy the home today is dealing with a double whammy because the prices is going to stay the same because nobody wants to lose out. Why is the market able to still sustain itself? Because in a situation like this, in most instances, it would create a bubble. In most instances, it would create a bubble. The only reason that we don't have a bubble here in the United States of America is because people don't want to move. They're trapped in their homes when they would usually move and sell their home to keep money circulating, but they trapped in their homes because they don't want to give up their interest rate. So they unwilling to sell their homes or they just want to leave the homes on the market. They're not going to give up the home because they got too much equity into it. But they house poor and they stuck in a house. So now every other decision that's happening around you, you're losing your job. You got to try to find a job in your market. You got to give it up. You got to take the buyout. You got to do all of this stuff. Now you stuck. Your house has become your anchor. And I'm not talking about preventing, making it sure that you say stability. I'm talking about holding you back from doing the things that you want to do. Your house has now become your anchor. Because every decision that you make is around the fact that you looked at this house as an investment instead of looking at your life and then moving according to whatever it is that was best for your long-term career. Your house, you looked at it as an investment, but you can't imagine how much money you're probably losing as a result of having to stay there. You can't get the job you want. You can't move. You stuck. Why? Because you don't want to give up the interest rate. Because you refinanced or you bought your home, even though you paid $200,000 over asking in 2021 and 2022. Your house is keeping you poor. So now people are waiting for one of two things: for interest rates to go down, which would make it more affordable so that you can get out of your home. That's number one. Or for earnings to go up so that you can justify making a purchase that you're not supposed to make. What do I tell y'all inside of the Patreon that I stay in? That sweet spot. I tell you to stay in that sweet spot, right? It's a price range that I keep my homes at, that I buy them at, so that it makes it more available to more people if I ever decided that I needed to sell it or pull equity out of the home. It's a price range, but more people felt like because they had a lower interest rate that they can buy more home. Now your home got you stuck, because the value of your home is not necessarily what the market bears, it's what you perceive it to be. It's based off of what you paid, and you don't want to lose no money based off of the purchase price of your home. So you got to live in it for the next 10 to 15 years and even to be able to even justify the cost of it. Meanwhile, your property taxes is going up. Your property taxes is going up. And you can't pull no money out of it either. Because if you pull money out of it, then that means that you got to refinance. You got to refinance, and you got to refinance at a bigger rate. Even people that say, well, I could pull the equity out of my home, not for the new rates, because you're not going to keep the same rate that you had. So you stuck. You stuck. You stuck. And this is the part that they can't talk about. This is the part that people can't have a conversation about. This is why I boom whenever I open up my coaching calls, because I force you to look at everything, even the things that you don't want to see. You say, oh, well, your realtor's job is to sell you a home, not educate you. I'm the education. I'm the person that's going to give you the tools that allow for you to make a smarter decision, no matter what part of your life you're talking about. Their job is to make sure that they get a commission and make sure that they sell you the home. I'll tell you all of the factors because I've seen this shit before. I've seen it in 07, 08, 09. I've seen it in 14 of what was coming in. I've seen what happened when they raised the interest rates, and that's why, or they lowered the interest rates, and that's why I paused the buying. I've seen how it was playing out when they was paying $150,000, $200,000 over interest. Yeah, I could have jumped in the same way as everybody else and still been doing the same thing. But guess what? A wise decision, patience, everything is cyclical. Everything comes back around, and it's going to make itself available to you. Every single time. And so now they're trying to sell you, well, the interest rates are better than any time ever. But the price of the homes is not coming down because the price they paid for it at the time that the interest rates was at its lowest was too high. They paid too high. And so now it's not really a market correction because nobody want to actually get rid of the home that they paid that low interest rate in. And as long as they have to pay the bank, then they're going to try to keep that home as long as possible because they can't afford to pay off the mortgage.
Realtor and you want to sell homes because that's how you make a living, things
Yeah.
are bad. If you're a home builder and you're not selling as many homes, that's not a good thing, although home building stocks say otherwise. But I think the real challenge is trying to get the prices right for people's level of income.
And
which
for
hasn't
first-time home buyers who have just been priced out, we got to do something about that.
Yeah, we need more supply of housing. I mean, we need, in my view, we need fiscal policy.
So now, instead of because it's plenty of homes for sale. It was plenty of homes for sale when Kamala Harris was saying that we need to build more houses. What they're trying to do, which is a mistake, it is the biggest mistake. It is the biggest mistake that we can make. What they're trying to do is saying that we need to build more homes so that we can price them at a point where people can buy them at the interest rates that we want to put on them. We don't. We don't. We don't need to build more. There's plenty of homes that's for sale right now. What we need is to make sure that there's a market correction that I don't know. I shouldn't even be saying this. The value of the homes based off of what y'all trying to sell them for is not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Y'all got these old homes, they toe up, they cookie cutter. You bought it because a new builder built it. It was all toe up. It had no insulation. The foundation wasn't right. The driveway is cracking. The roof is already needing to be redone. Listen, I ain't gonna talk about this right now. I got Block Club. Stock Club is either today or tomorrow, depending on how much work that I can get done before the Q show or before after hours tomorrow. And then Block Club is next week. The reason why Block Club is gonna be next week is because you know me. I show the receipts. I'm gonna show y'all what I picked up. If I pick up anything at the right price at the auction that I'm going to. When I get back home, I'm going to an auction, a property tax auction. And I'm gonna pick up some stuff and I'm gonna show y'all exactly how much I paid for it, what the long-term play is, how we gonna generate revenue from it. And y'all listen, don't send me no emails asking me to start a fund. I'm not starting no fund. I don't want to use nobody else's money. I'm not interested in crowdsourcing. We not doing the Jay Morrison over here. And even though I'm above board and I would take care of business, I don't want to be responsible for nobody else's money. I'm gonna just show you the receipts of what I'm doing, and then we're gonna go from there. But I'm gonna show y'all all of the plays on real estate, what the long-term investments are. But I'm gonna also tell you why I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna compete, and why I'm gonna beat every single person in the marketplace, and why I'm buying up my whole city. But we'll go from there in a minute.
That creates incentives for builders to build, take more risk, buy more land, build more homes.
Yeah.
That will drive the prices down.
Very good. All right, next one for you. A new report claims that more than 50% of homes sold in May went for less than their asking price. A typical close came in about $5,000 lower than the original listing. Is that a trend that continues, that prices are coming down?
Actual prices of closed transactions are going up.
Oh,
the difference between asking price and closing price is sort of deteriorating because there has been this major push for people to put their houses on the market. They're getting bombarded. I can't tell you how many phone calls I get about my home in Florida from realtors. List your home, list your home. I have no plans to list it.
Cap. I don't care if this is Fox News business, whatever. Cap. Nigga, what's happening in Florida is exactly how I predicted it was going to happen in Florida. And I told y'all, I said, don't invest in Florida. Don't buy homes in Florida. Don't do this in Florida. You're capping. He's capping. Nobody is calling him and asking him to put his house on the market in Florida. Boy, homes prices are plummeting. People been sitting on the market in Florida for a long time. And I told y'all that it was going to happen. I told you that this was going to happen. Nobody is asking him to put his house on the market in Florida. Nobody should have bought a home or a condo in Florida. It was one of the worst decisions that you can possibly make. Do not. Well, it's too late now at this point because y'all already didn't caught y'all L's. I warned you. Nobody is calling him to tell him to put your house on the market in Florida. Nobody.
Realtors, as I said earlier, in order to make a living, need listings. So they're convincing people to list their homes. And the way they get that listing, I'm sure I'll get hate mail for this, but the way they get the listing is to convince people that they could sell it for X. And then they have it on the market. It sits there. And they end up lowering the price. If they are legitimate sellers, they end up lowering the price to sell it.
So the question is a buyer's or seller's market?
It's absolutely a buyer's market.
Okay.
Absolutely a buyer's market. The power has shifted, but when I was on last week or the week before, and existing home sales came out, the price ticked up again to a new all-time high of home prices.
Mortgage rates, which are critical to all of this discussion, just fell to the lowest level since last October. That has got to help, if nothing else, just to refinance.
Yes, and that is the thing that needs to break this logjam. There's so many people on the sidelines that are would-be buyers that aren't jumping in because they say, and I hear it from them all the time, I'm going to wait for rates to come down. And I say, if you really need the house because you want to get the house to get your kids into school for the school season, buy the house. You can refinance in 9 months. The problem is the cost of financing a home with title costs and points and all that. makes refinancing not as attractive as it used to be.
It takes a while to recoup the costs that it took to refinance, right? And that's a big consideration.
Anyways, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. I wanted to do one more, but I guess I'll just wait till tomorrow. Because we about at the 3-hour mark. So I try to give y'all at least 3 hours. AD, how do you feel about refinancing? Don't. For what? The only time that it makes sense for you to refinance is if you can get it at a lower rate. You're not going to get it at a lower rate if you bought your house in 2021, 22. So you're not going to get a lower rate. The other time that people refinance is when they want to pull money out of the home to do something else. What else would you do with the money? What else would you do with the money? For what? So you're going to refinance at a higher rate in order to pull money out of the home to do what? Pay off. I don't advise that you refinance your home. I advise that you actually pay off your home. I actually advise that you pay off your home, not refinance. Don't refinance your home. You need to pay off your home. That's what my goal would be. That's what my goal would be. I would be paying off my home. I would be trying to get from under that thing as fast as possible. Do you know how most people actually are able to retire? Most older people, when they retire, they don't retire until they can pay off their home. Paying off your home is one of the biggest flexes. Listen, I don't want to hear this. This is my thing. This is my thing. I don't want to hear from nobody that tell me about how much they got, how much you do this, how much you do that, what kind of chain you got, what kind of car you got. The biggest flex that you can show me, and I don't care how much the home costs. I don't care if it's 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500. I don't want to hear from nobody telling me, oh man, I live in $1 million home. I'm stunting, I'm flexing and all of this stuff. That don't mean nothing to me. That just means you got big bills. That just means to me that you got big bills. The greatest flex, and I'm not telling you that you got to do it by next year or nothing, but this should absolutely, at the top of your goals and your leaderboards should be a couple different things. The first thing that should be on the top of your leaderboard, or I mean, I'm not going to say the first thing because everybody got different priorities. One of the top things that should be on people's leaderboards is to get from under a mortgage. I know they sold y'all on the idea that you should have a mortgage and your mortgage should be this percentage of your income. But what I'm trying to tell you is that is the way that the banks make money. And it's a perception of success when you see people in big houses and they making that mortgage payment and all they doing is making the banks richer. All they doing is making the banks richer. If people would life hack their homes in the same way that they life hack their cars, and if they put that much more effort into their homes than they did in their cars, then that's how you would want to do it as far as leveling up. You know what people would do with their cars? I know people that without even blinking, myself, I do it myself. I'll buy a $130,000, $140,000, $150,000, $160,000 car without even blinking twice. And not only would I do that, I'll save up and pay for it cash. I know when it's coming. We put all of our effort into looking good and the buying cars and stuff. We have no problem. Cars is too expensive, $70,000, $80,000, but you ain't got no problem with buying it. You still gonna buy it. One thing that the car manufacturers know is that you're gonna still go and buy that car. But here's the problem though, is that if you start to get into super luxury cars, supercars, sports cars, hypercars, what they'll tell you and what the play is for most of them is that most of the time they'll get into it. You know, if they can get a low enough interest rate, they'll finance it because they can make more money off their money than giving it over to the bank or whatever and just paying for the car cash. And so they car hack. But part of car hacking is this, is that They get into a vehicle and they finance it, right? But they'll finance their first car for over $100,000. Cool. And then they're basically, and this is one of the reasons why they sell y'all on credit. What they'll do is they'll then take the whole credit aspect, because you've now shown that you can afford these type of cars and you can afford these type of payments. So you're a trustworthy person to lend money to when it comes to cars. Well, they do also do a cost benefit analysis, and that cost benefit analysis is they still do the risk taking, right? So they'll pull your credit still, whatever. Okay, cool. You know what? He got this car, he got that sports car, that supercar, that hypercar, whatever. Okay. Well, I think that we feel comfortable enough to be able to lend you money for this next car. But you got to trade in the car that you previously had, right? And trading in the car that you previously had, depending on how rare the car is or how nice the car is, if you got a lot of equity in a car because you've been making these payments for the last 2 or 3 years, right? Then what happens is they'll give you the difference of what it is that they can sell it for in order for you to finance a new car. So you basically rolling over the equity of that car into the next purchase, and they feel more comfortable lending it to you for the next purchase because now they have equity in the next car because the value of it is higher than whatever it is that you owe on it. So let's say, for example, I got a 911, right? And let's say I can get $100,000. Let's just use a round number, $100,000 for it, right? Cool. Well, the new Lambo that I just ordered, assuming that I don't pay cash, right, is with options, with taxes, maybe $500,000, right? And I showed y'all the spec sheet and everything and all of that. All right, cool. Now, let's say you put another 100,000 with it because you're a high earner, and you trade it in, and you also get 100,000 from equity from the Porsche 911 that you got because it's got low miles. Okay, now you only owe $300,000 on that car. That's a $500,000 car. And so you basically flipping up because you've now shown the finance company that you're continuing to do business with that you're a good customer to lend to because they felt comfortable lending you one. And so you now life hacking and you're going up to the next one or whatever. So whereas you bought that other Porsche for $150,000, $160,000, $170,000 and you was able to pay that down, and then also they made a decent amount of money and they qualify you, they're looking to loan to people because that's how they make their money. They're looking to loan to people because that's how they make their money. So really, you're financing this car for $300,000, even though the value of it, even if it loses some equity or even if it loses some of its value, you bought a $500,000 car, you owe $300,000 on it, and we know you're going to try to pay that off faster than usual because you're going to accelerate the payment so that you can eventually trade up to the next car, a hypercar, a super hypercar, or whatever. And that's how people basically hack their way up to get into the $1 million cars, but they still making around or a little bit more the same amount of money. Interesting thing about that, though, is because I was looking at different people that was doing that, right? And I know a lot of people that do that because they get the cars, they love the cars or whatever, so on and so forth. You can afford it, do whatever it is that you want to do. They playing around with the money to try to figure out how to make the most money. Do they need to put it in the market and let the market pay for their car or whatever, right? But they want to build up that equity with the bank in order to make sure that they can get the next car, just in case they ever want to buy it. You know what's so interesting about that? We don't really do that when it comes to homes. We don't really do that when it comes to real estate. We don't really put a priority in making sure that we pay off the mortgages that we have because we've been sold to hold on to that mortgage for 30 years. And the only time that we ever touch that mortgage is if we want to pull some money out of it or we want to get a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. And so whereas people will prioritize paying down or paying off their car as fast as possible so they can do more money with the bank, we never do that with real estate. We buy the home. And then the only questions that people ever ask me or ask anybody in real estate is, hey, but what if I want to pull money out of the home? Or do you think that a home equity line of credit is good? Or do you think that refinancing is good or any of that type of stuff? And they're okay. They'll buy a $300,000 home, $350,000 home and finance it for 30 years. They'll get a $300,000, $400,000 supercar and finance it for 6 or 7. They will work their ass off to finance a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 supercar and finance it for 6 or 7, and they'll finance their home for 30. And the first 10, 15 years of the mortgage is all going towards interest in the bank, and hardly any of it is going towards the principal. You know why they do that? Because we program to do so, and we don't think any differently other than whatever is marketed to us, because we trust the banks, we trust YouTubers, we trust people to tell us and sell us information when they should be teaching us how to think. The only reason why I put these things, I started thinking, and again, I'm not giving you new information, but I'm teaching you how to think differently about your finances, right? The only thing that separates me from a lot of other people is that A, I do my research, B, I put my own money up, and C, I try to make sense of things before I buy it. Even an iPad, right? I was thinking to myself, well, why would I need an iPad if I got a laptop? Then I started justifying it because there were certain use cases that I could logically justify spending some money, in which I would then write that off as a business expense because it's for business. I have to make sense of it. And I can't make sense. I've never been able to make sense of a 30-year mortgage. I've never actually seen anybody pay off a 30-year mortgage in 30 years. I've never. Do you know why I haven't bought $1 million house yet? Why I don't live in $1 million house? Is because up to this point in my life, and again, I'm pretty sure at some point I'll be living in $1 million house, despite what I show you my income is, despite how much money, I've never been able to justify living in $1 million house with 3 people, with two other people, 3 of us total, paying more property taxes and taking the money that I would have invested inside of the market, the stock market, and other real estate. Every time I think, you know what, I'm about to start building this $1 million home, I see another property that I can rent out to people, and then I make that play, and then instead I invested in that, and I let them continue to pay me the rent. I haven't been able to wing it. I haven't been able to justify it. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. At some point, I'm going to justify it. I've been working it. I've been trying to justify it. You know what? And I ain't even just talking about the money wise. I'm just talking about lifestyle. Like, I've been trying to justify, you know what? I need a 20-car garage and this and that. And that. I ain't been able to justify it. I haven't been able to justify it. Exactly. It's not practical to live in a home that's bigger than its purpose. So, with that being said, I've now realized that that is a luxury. That is not a necessity. I have everything that I need. I have every single thing that I need in order to be able to live the lifestyle that I want. And until I can justify the luxury, then I will just continue to rock out with the necessity, because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't register in my mind. It would match a lifestyle, Anton. Yeah, I know, but not before the business. Business before pleasure every single time. Business before pleasure every single time. There was a car that I just outside of the one that I've been waiting on for the last few years or whatever, when they announced the Temerario, or a little bit before the Temerario. It was a car that I seen. I'm being absolutely honest and transparent with y'all. There was a car that I seen that I thought was a phenomenal price, and it was available to me, and I had the cash to be able to get it without pulling out any money from stocks or anything like that. I just had the reserve cash to go get it. I couldn't buy it. I couldn't buy it. It bothered me. I turned and tossed and turned about it. I couldn't buy it. And the reason that I couldn't buy it is because I know it's a property tax auction, and it's some specific properties that I'm targeting. I went and researched. I spent my whole weekend looking and viewing different properties, and I just can't swing it. Not without liquidating and pulling money out of other things. Not without pulling money out of stocks. I don't want to pull my money out of the market. Not for a car. Not for a car. I can't justify it. So I have to reserve my resources so that I can plan to buy these things that I know that I have to buy that's going to add to my asset value of my portfolio. It's nice. And then when I woke up in the morning, I felt better about it because I realized, you know what? When did they stop making cars and when did they stop selling cars? It ain't going nowhere. It'll be there. Maybe not that one. Maybe that one. But it ain't going nowhere. It'll be there. I gotta make sure I make the money play first. You got to make the money play and then you do the things that you want. It's a time for balling and it's a time for chilling. Delayed gratification. So, anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We streamed for over 3 hours. We got the Q show tonight. I'm gonna put the link to the Discord, the most recent link to the Discord inside of the Patreon. And then I'm gonna also put up the stock club information and we're gonna go from there. All right. All right. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me read some of these super chats and let me get y'all up out of here. A76 Vlog says he made it to Florida. Don't they got a big immigration place? Don't they got a big immigration place in Texas? I have no idea. Chris H says, I've been driving for 6 years now, and I'm sorry, but the migrant truck drivers are the worst. They don't give a F about nobody. I believe that. Raheem says, I'm a regional truck driver with JB Hunt in Philly. Immigrant drivers are wild out here. They are aggressive drivers. If you see a truck riding close behind cars, they're immigrants most likely. Jay Thomas says, Jasmine Crockett got called out at her Texas conference. She was speechless. I seen that. I seen she was talking and somebody was yelling from the crowd about her not being raised or not being hood or something like that. I forgot what that is. Jerry Young says, this was in my city, Fort Pierce, Florida. Got an extra hour and a half at work because of this accident. Run that bag up. Jim Short says, thoughts on the Trump-Putin summit. I was on a plane here on my way to Vegas, and I was thinking to myself, as soon as I land, I'm going to do a live stream because if they calling for that, then it's a possibility that they probably got a ceasefire. So I don't really think anything about it. I know Zelensky is supposed to be meeting soon, and I think that it will be, but it just turned out to be the fact that they had a friendly relationship and they were negotiating and they were talking about it, but I didn't see anything yet, so I didn't see any necessary reason to create a live stream about it. King to All says, I had to pay that driver's responsibility. Oh, man, that driver's responsibility fee was kicking my butt. Kicking my butt. Champagne TV and 88 Grey Goose says, have you heard about the illegal immigrant that killed people in Florida driving an 18-wheeler? Yep, I just did it. Just talked about it. Alex Oubre says, conspicuous consumption term of the day. Shout out to my dog, Alex Oubre. Brown Ass says, in California, large corporations are buying up single-family homes and turning them into 20 to 50 units. It takes away from home ownership from the average person. There should be a cap. I don't know if it should be a cap. I know it is. That does play a role. Institutional investors are really messing up the market also. But I don't know if it should be a cap because I plan on owning more than 50 homes myself. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's a really good debate. That's a really good conversation that I need to think through. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Q show tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.